Let me know if we live. Countdown timer. How we doing, folks? We are live. I was scrolling. What? Oh, oh yeah, that was from yesterday. It'll be all right. I'll fix it next go round. It's too much stuff to play with that one. Okay. So we on all of them? Which one is on? I see in the background. Yeah, they like them all.
More energy that you can do every day. You can do blackness. You start quite outrageous.
Can you hear that music? What happened where? You can hear that music? Okay. You can? Okay. What's up, everybody? We're live. It's your boy Kelly. We're back again. We're back to talk about all things type 2 diabetes, insulin resistance, PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, gestational diabetes, prediabetes, all of that. Weight loss. Man, I'm here to answer all of your questions. We're going to have a little fun today. Today's Friday. Feel Good Friday, we like to call it, right? Friday, TGIF, whatever you want to call it. You know, in America, that's what we do, TGIF. We can't wait to get to the weekend. That's how we do in America. We can't wait to get to the weekend, right? That's why we call it TGIF. We even got a restaurant called TGIF. Think about it. People are lining up TGIF right now. But enough of that. My name's Kelly, your certified holistic nutritionist. Coming to you straight from the airwaves of Houston, Texas. How we doing, folks? We're live across all of the networks, man. We're everywhere. We're on TikTok, man. We're on all the other socials. We're everywhere, live across the world. The world is gonna know that we're live today. Okay. But yeah, my name's Kelly, your certified holistic nutritionist, coming to you straight from the airways of Houston, Texas. Been in Houston 11 years, 14 years in Texas altogether. I lived 3 years in Austin. Austin, I had to get out of Austin, man. It's a young man's town. I'm not a young man anymore, so I had to get up out of there. I had to get out of Austin. It's a young man's town. You know what I'm saying? But here we go. A couple of folks are coming in. Let me know where you're from. Do me a favor, folks. Tap in with me and let me know where you're from, man. What city are you from? What state you're from? What country are you from? Let me know where you're from. Like I said, I'm from Houston. Shout out to y'all over there, man. Let me know where you're from. Put it in the chat. Let me know where you're from. My name's Kelly. If you're new to me, my name's Kelly, your certified holistic nutritionist. I talk about all things type 2 diabetes, talk about all things weight loss, talk about all things insulin resistance. So whether it's PCOS, gestational diabetes, polycystic ovarian syndrome, you name it, anything related to insulin resistance, pre-diabetes, borderline diabetes, anything related to that, man, we're going to talk about it. And we're going to get down to the bottom of it. We're going to find out what the heck diabetes is. Where the heck does it come from? Is it really a condition that you got to have for the rest of your life? Like, do I have to have this condition for the rest of my life? Or is there something that I can do to actually flip the script? Man, that's what we're going to cover today. We're going to talk about all things A1C. You know what I mean? What the heck's an A1C? We'll talk about what that is. If you're suffering from diabetes or if you've had diabetes for many, many years, what is your number? A lot of people like, what's your number? What's your A1C? All right. Then we're going to talk about how to fix the A1C. How do you fix it, or how do you bring the A1C down? You bring it down naturally. How do we do that? We're going to cover that as well. So that's called lifestyle medicine. Then we're going to talk about how to eat, clean eating. We're going to talk about clean eating. We're not going to talk about necessarily counting calories and all that stuff. I don't really do that. We don't do that. We're going to talk more so about what is it that you have to eat and how do you eat? That's the biggest thing. How do you eat, right? And then after that, we'll talk more. Maybe we'll jump into your questions. So how I run my lives is come on, introduce myself, let you know who I am, and then get into your questions. And then we get to the board and we're going to start talking about, we're going to get into the science of things right now. But introduce myself, Kelly, certified holistic nutritionist. Wasn't always a nutritionist, wasn't always a health coach. Because a few years ago, I was actually in the worst shape of my life. I was a diabetic, I had heart disease, and I was obese, the triple whammy. I got all diagnosed, all three of these, right? All three, the triple whammy, all at the very same doctor's visit. So I go into the doc and the doctor's like, yo, doc, He's like, sits me down. It's a cold, brightly lit room. You know what I mean? The bench that I was sitting on, it was hard. It was hard like a rock. So the doctor comes in. He's holding this clipboard, you know. But despite his professionalism, I couldn't help but to notice that we shared a similar struggle. And what struggle was that? We were both struggling with our health. I can tell that he and I was a big guy, and I can tell that he was about 2 inches taller than me, and he was wider than I was. So I can tell that we were both struggling. And then he gives me the news. Kelley, you've got diabetes, heart disease, obesity. Diabetes, heart disease, obesity. The triple whammy, all three at the very same time. It's kind of like the hat trick. If you've ever watched hockey, it's when you score 3 goals in one game. 3 goals in one game. They're going to celebrate you. They're going to throw their hats down on the ground. They're going to say, it's a hat trick. Great, you did a great job. But you see, this wasn't time for celebration, actually. This was not a time for celebration. It was actually time for deep reflection. Deep reflection. So I had to go home, look in the mirror. Let me show you the guy. Let me show you the guy that I'm talking about so it makes sense. So you can visualize exactly what I'm telling you. When I got this is the month that I got the diagnosis. Look at that. Look at that, folks. Look at that. I'm gonna show it on both cameras. Look at that. Look at that, folks. Look at that. This is the guy I was talking about that got diagnosed with diabetes, heart disease, and obesity. Look at that. You see that? Got caught with my hand in the cookie jar. Look at that. Before and after. Same year. Same year, right? Beginning of the year, end of the year. Same year, right? Beginning of the year, end of the year. You see that, folks? Look at that. Both cameras I'm showing it. All right. So when I tell you I know a thing or two about what it means to get that diagnosis, when I tell you I know a thing or two about what it means to get that diagnosis, yeah, I know what it means. I told you the doctor sat me down in a cold, brightly lit room. It was cold, and that bench it was real hard. Real hard, folks. I'm gonna show you one more picture. Look at this one. Last one. Look at that. Look how many inches I lost off my waist. This comes from, folks. You want to know what that comes from? That comes from doing the work. That's what it comes from. Doing the work. Well, what the heck's the work? What's the work, Kelley? Well, the work is this. Here's what the work is. The work is it's a little thing that we often abandon. But we need to put in the work. That's the only way that we're going to get rid of type 2 diabetes, folks. The only way that you're going to reverse this insulin resistance and get your life back is to actually do the work. And what is the work, might you ask? The work is called lifestyle medicine. So it's an often abandoned form of healing, but it's the most powerful form of healing. It's called lifestyle medicine. All right, so here's my philosophy. Lifestyle first, medication second. If you can't fix it with your diet and your lifestyle, then first, then we can talk about the medication. We can talk about it at that point. But first, let's try everything in our power to get it right with our lifestyle, because that's what type 2 diabetes is, folks. Type 2 diabetes is a dietary and lifestyle driven condition, meaning it was your diet and lifestyle that actually caused the condition. Think about it. Diabetes. It's many other conditions, heart disease, the same ones that I had, heart disease, obesity, all of that stuff. Diabetes included, is a dietary and lifestyle driven condition. So people always ask me, Kelley, well, what'd you take, bro? What did you take? What'd you take? Every time they see me, what'd you take? When they see me lost all the weight, what'd you take? Well, here's what I took. I took lifestyle first. I didn't take the medication from my doctor. He prescribed it to me, but I decided to take my health into my own hands. That's what I decided to do. And as a result, 1 year later, you saw those pictures. That was a year apart. I took those pictures 1 year apart. So we're in the same clothes to let you know the effects of what it means when you put in the work. So that's the work, folks. It's called lifestyle medicine. Having a peaceful mind, having an active body, clean eating, and having some effective sleep. And lastly, there's two other areas, but lastly, this was a big one: substance abuse as well. Substance abuse as well. Things like alcohol, things like certain medications. Medications can cause you to become insulin resistant. Things like steroids. Things like steroids can cause you to become insulin resistant. All right. But other than that, if it wasn't caused by steroids, how you got type 2 diabetes was from your diet and lifestyle. So if you reverse engineer it, you reverse engineer the whole process, guess what? I'm going to teach you how to do that today. I'm going to teach you how to reverse engineer this whole process. And this is a 4-hour live, folks. Well, 3.5 hours. We're going to be on for 3.5 hours today. We're going to be off at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. So every day we're on between 7 and 7:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, Monday through Saturday. 6 days a week we're on here talking about this thing called type 2 diabetes. So that's it, folks. That's my story. That's my story. What's your story? What's your story? Put your questions in the chat. So I get in and I answer all your questions. What questions you got? And then we're going to get up and we're going to start going up here on the board. If you're just joining us, also take the quiz. That link is in my bio. Take the quiz to understand and learn your diabetes management style. Linked in my bio is a quiz, 2-minute quiz that you can take to understand and learn your diabetes management style. It's very, very important. So take that 2-minute quiz. Linked in my bio. If you're on the other sites, if you're on the other ones, it's there's a link in my bio, link in my description. Click on that link, click on my bio, click on my description, and you will see that link to go in and register for the quiz. Take that quiz. 2-minute quiz, folks. All right, let's see. I'll catch you tomorrow. Gotta work. Peace out. Hold on. Peace out. Go get your work on, boss. Wow, what a miracle. It's a miracle. It's not a miracle. It is. I guess you could say it's a miracle, but it was just a product of hard work. That's all it was. This is the product of hard work. That's all it is. Once I asked my doctor how to lose weight, he said, "Why ask a fat doctor?" That is a good one. That is a good one. That's the best joke I've ever heard. Yeah. Yeah. Here's the joke. I once asked my doctor how to lose weight, and he said, "Why ask a fat doctor?" That's a good one. All right, folks, what questions do you got? Those are the questions, comments, concerns, throw them in there, man. Or we're going to start talking about all things A1C. A1C, folks, let's get into it. Do me a favor, folks. Put the word A1C in the chat. You guys are curious about what an A1C is and how to bring your A1C down if it gets lower, like mine was. Like mine. You saw the pictures. Like mine. Mine got up to a 6.5. Now I'm down in the 5.2 ish. 5.2 ish. It's where I hang out. Around about 5.2. It's been that way the last 4 years. Hadn't moved. Step 5.2. All right. Just been there. It's where it stays. So it means I'm insulin sensitive once again. Insulin sensitive, folks. Do me a favor, folks. Put the word A1C in that chat. And we're going to get up here on this board and we're going to talk about all things A1C. Curious to know what A1C? Anybody curious to know what an A1C is? Not very many people. We don't have to talk about A1C. It's only the most important number that there is when it comes to diabetes. I'm insulin resistance. What can I do to help? That's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about A1C. My insulin was 46. Which country are you in, boss? Are you using a different metric? Yeah, curious 46. Yeah, that's pretty high. All right. Nobody wants to know about A1C. That's shocking. All right, Australia. Here you go. Yeah, I said you're using a different metric. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, your metric. So I don't. We gotta convert. In the U.S., we use a different metric. So I gotta convert that over to see what that means. All right. All right, A1C. Here we go. A couple of A1Cs. Anybody want to learn about A1C? Only again, if you're diabetic, I talk to people who are a lot diabetics every single day, and most people don't understand what it actually means to have type 2 diabetes. All they say is this: I've got high. All they say is, I was like, well, what does it mean? They just say, I just have high sugar. That's all they know. I have high sugar. That's it. A1C. All right, a couple of folks want to know about A1C. Folks, we're about to get to the board. We're about to get busy. A1C is at a 12.9, and I'm about to tell you what's really going down. Again, while I'm doing this, Brooklyn, 6.5. While I'm doing this, click the link in my bio and register for that quiz. Go take the quiz. It's a 2-minute quiz. Go take the 2-minute quiz, folks. It's right there, linked in my bio. All right, so let's go. Let's get rid of it. We got a couple of things I got to bring up over here. Here we go. We're about to go to the board right now. There's no questions. Now, folks, we're about to talk about all things A1C. Let me see. Doctor says I'm not diabetic, but my insulin is too high. Does that sound about right? Yeah, you can become insulin resistant. You can start becoming, that's what we're going to talk about right now. You become insulin resistant without officially becoming like, hey, listen, you're a diabetic. You don't have that official diagnosis yet. But yeah, the insulin resistance starts way before the actual diagnosis. You know what I'm saying? So here we go, folks. Hemoglobin A1C. What the hell is this? We're going to break this thing down. We're going to do it 2 ways, folks. Here, what are the 2 ways we're going to do this thing? Here's the 2 ways we're going to do it, folks. If you're over there on that camera, we're going to 2 things that we're going to do. Number 1 thing is we're going to find out what the heck is an A1C. What is it? And then after we find out what it is, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to find out how to fix it. How to bring this number down if the number gets too high. So 2 parts, folks. So bear with me for a little while. You might be like, Kelley, this is taking too long. How do you fix it? We're going to get there. It's 2 parts. Just remember that. It's 2 parts, folks. All right, here we go. The A1C, hemoglobin A1C. What the hell is it? Hemoglobin and then A1C. A hemoglobin A1C. What the heck is a hemoglobin A1C? Oh, here it is. Here's it in simple terms. Who's ever gone to the doctor? Do me a favor. Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. All the chats. Put it in the chat. Listen. Have you ever gone to the doctor and they give you that diagnosis? The one you remember I told you I went to the doctor? That diagnosis that they give you. But this time they say you're anemic. Has anybody ever gone to the doctor and that your doctor's like, yo, you're anemic, you got low iron? Has anybody experienced that? Put a me in the chat if you've ever experienced your doctor telling you you got low iron or you're anemic. So put a me in the chat. Yup. Yes. All right. Let's see. Let's see how many me's we got. Me. Yeah. Good morning. Yeah. Me. Me. Yeah. Once. Okay. Yeah. Me. Good morning. Me. Mine. Me. Yeah. A whole bunch of folks. And off, on and off. So random. Okay. You probably got to go get things like iron transfusions, all different types of stuff. You know what I mean? It's just an endless cycle. And then you're always tired. Like, hey, man, why am I always tired? Yeah. It's because, here's why. You want to know why you're always tired? It's because you don't have enough oxygen rich blood flowing through your veins, flowing through your system. You don't have enough oxygen rich blood. What does that mean, Kelley? Well, the word hemo means iron and oxygen rich blood. Iron and oxygen rich blood should be coursing through every cell of your body every time you breathe. Literally, every time you breathe, oxygen rich blood goes through every cell of your body. But if your hemoglobin is low, the word globin means protein. If your hemoglobin is low, You don't have enough oxygen-rich blood flowing through your cells. So as a result, you're going to get very, very tired very, very quickly. And it can get so low. If your hemoglobin gets so low, here's what it is. Here's what they'll do. They'll give you a blood transfusion. They'll give you a blood transfusion. If your hemoglobin gets too low. Can you imagine that? That's how important stuff is, folks. Hemoglobin. All right. So it's basically your oxygen, okay? Oxygen-rich blood flowing to every cell in your body. The word A1C is, here's how A1C works. A1C is how much sugar was stuck. Keyword is stuck. Stuck to the hemoglobin has been stuck to it over the past 3 months. Over the past 2 to 3 months, how much sugar was stuck to it? Well, what do you mean sugar? Blood sugar. You take a lollipop, right? You take a lollipop or a piece of candy, put it in your mouth, and it gets all sticky and all kind. And you take it out, and it gets all sticky, and it gets on your fingers, and it feels real nasty. Well, that nasty stuff, that sticky stuff, is the same thing that's attached to your hemoglobin. Okay, we're gonna dive more into that in a second. That sticky stuff is stuck to your hemoglobin. That doesn't sound good, does it? Hemoglobin is only your oxygen-rich blood, basically. If it gets too low, they'll give you a blood transfusion. Sounds like important stuff to me. All right. And that number goes anywhere between 4 and 30. Anywhere between 4 and 30, that number goes. It may even go even lower in extreme cases. In some cases, it can probably even go even higher than that, than 30. But it can get up there. So you're like, well, what the hell does that mean, Kelley? All right. 5.7. 5.7, 6.4. Who knows what it means? Can you put it in the chat? Who knows what it means when your A1C gets to a 5.7 to a 6.4? We're going to go on this side over here. When your A1C gets to a 5.7 to a 6.4, what the heck does that mean, folks? Who knows what it means? Throw it in the chat. Yeah, pre-diabetic. Somebody said diabetes, pre-diabetic. Yeah, pre-diabetic. A lot of pre-diabetics. Yep, that's it. P-R-E. Diabetic. That's what it means. Pre-diabetic. But what the heck's a pre-diabetic? Okay, let's find out what a pre-diabetic is. Who can tell me what the most important hormone is in the body? Now, there's a lot of important hormones in your body. But the question is, which one is the most important, folks? There's a lot of them that's important. But which one is the creme de la creme? The king of the hill. Which one's the king of the hill? Anybody know? Can you throw it in the chat? Which one is the most important one? Let's see. Ooh, somebody said cortisol. Cortisol. Somebody said, oh, do me a favor, folks. Share this live out with anybody that you know that is struggling with diabetes, pre-diabetes, gestational diabetes, PCOS. Send this live their way. And then bebop that screen, folks. Share this live out there with them. Oh, somebody said, all right, insulin, carbs. Somebody said, okay. Somebody said, okay, there's a lot of different answers. Most important hormone in the cortisol. Most important hormone. One more. Give me one more. Give me one more, folks. One more. Yeah. Can I get one more? Going once. Going twice. Give me one more hormone. Which one's the most important one, folks? Okay. Glucose. Okay. All right. Testosterone. There's another option. All right. That's it, folks. All right. Okay. All right. Estrogen. Okay. Getting a lot more. Okay. Great. Insulin. All right. Great. All right. Okay. Great. Oxytocin. Okay. Great. Yes. Insulin. That's it. Insulin is the most important hormone in your body. Why is it so important? Here's why. It's because if you don't have it, you won't live. Now, all those other hormones that you guys were naming there, you can live without those hormones. Some of those hormones, most of those hormones, but your quality of life is not going to be great. You don't have those hormones, your quality of life is not going to be great at all, but you'll still be around. But here's the thing. When it comes to insulin, if you don't have insulin coursing through your veins, you won't be around for much longer. That's what it means to be a type 1 diabetic. That's what it means to be insulin dependent. It means you have to take, this is why they have to take insulin for the rest of their life. Why? Because insulin is that important. They have to manually inject it because it's that important. If you do not have it, you will not survive. So that's the most important hormone in the body, right? So think about now, what is insulin resistance? You're like, well, what's insulin resistance then, Kelley? Okay, well, check it out. Insulin is the most important hormone in the body, and insulin resistance is saying, what does that mean? Insulin resistance is saying that insulin is the most important hormone in the body, and you are becoming resistant to the most important hormone in the body. You're becoming resistant to it. Check it out. The higher this number right here just saying that you're not officially diagnosed as a diabetic yet. But here's the thing: you are becoming insulin resistant. Yeah. So that's what it means to be a pre-diabetic. It means that, yeah, have insulin resistance. Like someone asked me earlier, what does it mean to have? I'm not diabetic, but my doctor says my numbers are, whatever they were. And I was like, yeah, it's because you can become a pre-diabetic. You can, the number has just not gotten bad yet. Your insulin resistance is starting to build. It just hasn't gotten bad yet. That's all it means to be a pre-diabetic. So a lot of people are like, oh, I'm pre-diabetic. I mean, so I'm not really worried. I'm not concerned about it. I'm just a pre-diabetic. Like, okay, all right. So let's find out what it means then. Let's up the ante. What does it mean when your A1C gets to 6.5 or better? You're becoming resistant to the most important hormone in the body. What does it mean when the number goes higher? The higher the number is, the more resistant you're becoming to the most important hormone in the body. I just want that to sink in for a little bit. Okay? What does it equal, folks, when your A1C is a 6.5 or better? When we start getting into the 7s, the 8, the 9, the 10, 11, the 12, what does that mean, folks? Can you tell me? You guys tell me what it means, and I'm gonna go get some water real quick. What does it mean? Let's see. What does it mean? So I need to live like I am diabetic. I don't really know what that means. Type 1 diabetic, yeah. Type 1 diabetic. Okay. Somebody said, let me see what the results are. Sugar's high, pre-diabetic when you're at 6.5, type 1, somebody says. Footloose. That's not funny, man. Here we go. Can't digest. Okay, here we go. So that's what it means, folks. I see the answer. I saw the answer in there. It means that you are a diabetic. That's what it means. But what does that mean, though, Kelley? To be a diabetic? It's like, so what, man? And why should I care about that I'm diabetic now, that I've been officially diabetic? Like, okay, well, and maybe I should just continue to just do what I've been doing, continue to eat what I've been eating, continue to live the same lifestyle that I've been living, and let the number just keep going higher and higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. Is that how you feel about that, Kelley? Well, I'm going to tell you how I feel about that. Here's how I feel about that. Here's what it means to be a diabetic. The higher the number is, this becomes what it means to be insulin resistant. The higher the number is, it means the faster you're basically deteriorating, basically. You're rusting, basically. You're aging. And whatever word that you want to use, that is what's happening to your cells. Those trillions of cells that you got, insulin goes to every cell of your body. Literally, every cell of your body is touched by insulin. Literally, every cell of your body needs to be touched by oxygen-rich blood, aka hemoglobin. So let's combine the two. Let's find out what it means. To be a diabetic, it means this. It means that whenever you eat food, the energy cannot get into your cells because insulin, the most important hormone in your body, cannot do its job correctly because it's a whole bunch of resistance. Because insulin kept coming around too much. Basically, insulin kept was like crying wolf. Basically, the insulin's like, oh, crying wolf, I'm crying wolf. We got some food out. We got, but you kept coming around too much, and you're like, yo, the wolf's not coming out, bro. Stop crying wolf. We just becoming resistant to you crying wolf all the time. The wolf's not coming. Well, insulin resistant goes like that. Your body's like, listen, we've insulin's come around so much, we're not even listening to it anymore. Thanks for the daily heart meat. We're not even listening to it anymore. Wow, now that's where the problems begin. So insulin, most important hormone in the body. Basically, it goes like the faster you're checking out of here. The higher the number, I'm just going to keep it simple. The higher the number is, the faster you're checking out of here. The faster you're leaving this planet. Because essentially, I just want you to think of it like this. That sugar, the sticky stuff, the higher the A1C, the more sugar that it's stuck to your hemoglobin. Remember what we said hemoglobin was? Oh, yeah. Only your oxygen rich blood every time you breathe. So, folks, what I'm trying to tell you is you're playing with fire. If you think that this number is not a serious number, if it's think that the numbers, my number's at a 10, my number's at an 11, my number's at a 12, my number's at a 13, my number's at a 14, my number's at a 15, and I'm just like sitting on my hands basically and waiting and waiting. Like you're sitting on your hands and you're waiting. But I'm going to tell you, if your number is getting that high, you ain't going to be waiting for very much longer. Because that is, the sugar is literally choking the life out of you. The higher the number is, literally, the sugar is literally choking. It's like you can't breathe the life out of you. It's called advanced glycation. That's what it's called. Essentially means that you're just checking out of here way earlier than what you should have, maybe like 15, 20 years too soon. Right? Complications of diabetes, you've heard that before? My sister 2 years ago, at the age of 55 years old, passed away from complications of, you guessed it, diabetes. Yeah, yeah. In her sleep, by the way. She was asleep. Went to sleep and she didn't wake up because of complications from, ultimately, when it came out and they gave us the results of why she passed away, ultimately, they said it was from complications of diabetes. She had diabetes for many, many years, like 20 years, probably even longer. I don't even know how long it was, but it's, yeah, like 20 years. So, folks, this is what it means. So now, if you're going to take this number seriously now, if you're going to bring this number back to down to the ideal range of 4.9 to 5.3, typically where you want it, that's an ideal range that you want to shoot for. If you are now going to take this seriously, put a me in the chat. Put a hell yes in the chat. Hell yes, put a me, put a something in the chat that says, you know what? I'm not going to take this number seriously. We're going to talk about how to get it to the ideal range right now. But I just want to make sure you understand what the heck it means to be a diabetic. Hell yeah, I did. Hell yes. Okay. Okay. Hell yes, I did. Definitely. Okay. Thank you. Thank you kindly. Thank you kindly. Thank you kindly. Yes, me. You have to change your whole lifestyle and eat healthy and exercise, Catherine. That's what we're about to talk about right now. You jumping, you're jumping ahead, Catherine, but I like it. I like where you're going with that one. Yeah, definitely, definitely. Was 12, now I'm at an 8. Exercise and reduce your carb intake. That's all it takes. That's a part of it, yeah. Does vinegar help? Vinegar does help. It does help. Is it the end all be all? No, it's not the end all be all, but it does help. It does, yeah. Last 12 last year, now 6.11. I may have to check where I am now. I have to check where I am now this month. Yeah. Just diagnosed. I'm learning. Yeah. I'm ready. The cinnamon help? It does help. But again, it's not the end all be all. Well, we're about to talk about what the end all be all is right now. Once 14, now I'm at a 5. Okay. Woo! Test to seem a black man. That's nice. That's real nice. Ooh, what's the challenge? The 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. That's what it is. That's what it is. The challenge is for people. Here's what it is. Somebody asked, well, what's the challenge? The challenge is for people who are ready for serious change. If you've gotten to the point where change isn't just desired, you don't just desire change, it's downright necessary. That's who the challenge is for. 14 days, it is a blueprint. That same blueprint that I did when I showed you that I lost all of the weight, same blueprint that I did. That's the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. We're going to talk more about the challenge, but right now we're going to talk about lifestyle medicine. But if you want to learn more about that challenge, click the link in my bio and click on the 14-day challenge. Woo, you're going to learn a whole lot about the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. But right now, folks, there's a bunch of goodies on that link, by the way. Link in my bio. Bunch of great goodies. Disney World for a diabetic, I'm telling you. The quiz, go take the quiz. It is a 2-minute quiz. Go take it. Understand your style. I want to talk about that challenge. Woo, but the challenge, man, we're going to be on here for another 3 hours. So we're going to talk about, we got a lot of time to talk about the challenge, okay? But I just want to make sure y'all get an understanding on this. The next thing to do, folks, is how do we fix it? That's the question. How do we fix it? Wow. Little book. Wow. Excellent. Good job. Invest in a gym membership and research a healthy lifestyle. We're about to talk about that right now, Catherine. Thank you for saying that. Here we go. Now, how do we bring this number down? That's the question. How do we get it back to that ideal range? What do we say we wanted? 4.9, 5.3. That's what we wanted. Ooh, this is what we want. This is the work, folks. This is the part where it starts to get tough. Now that I told you what it is, the challenge is everything's free on my page except for the challenge. The challenge is not actually $99. I forgot. There's a discount code. I forgot. Thank you for saying that. It's actually boxing. Ooh, running a flash sale today on that. Ooh, boxing on the challenge. $69 you're joining the challenge for, not $99. $69 you're joining the challenge for. Use that discount code boxing at checkout. But folks, there's a lot of freebies on my page. There's the quiz, there's the masterclass, which we're about to talk about right now. All the information I'm about to tell y'all right now is in the free masterclass. Yeah, but you use that live discount code boxing for today. Just for today, it's a flash sale. I just put it up today. It's boxing. You want to know why I call it boxing? It's because there's a big fight this weekend. I don't know if you know, but there's a big fight this weekend. Big boxing. I'm a big boxing fan. And there's a big boxing fight this weekend. So that is why the code word for today is boxing. You're going to join the challenge, $69. A couple hundred people have already joined the challenge, right? People join the challenge daily. Lots of people join the challenge daily. You want to be part of the challenge? Use that live discount code. But here we go, folks. How do we bring that number down? How do we bring the A1C down? Here's what you got to do. To bring your A1C number down, here's what you got to do. You got to maintain your pace. P-A-C-E. How do you bring this number down naturally, folks? That's what we're going to cover right now. The work. The work. Let's talk about the work. Well, what's the work? Here's the work you're going to have to do. It's an often neglected form of healing. It's called lifestyle medicine. Here's what I believe. I believe that it should always be lifestyle first, medication second. How I figured this formula out was I went on a cruise in some years back, maybe like 10 years ago. I went on a cruise. And on this cruise, we were in Belize, jungle. And just think about the jungle. Get on the bus to the tour to go ride some horses from the tour guide for the tour. Somebody from the back of the hand raised their hand and they asked the bus driver, like, I mean, the tour guide, like, hey, Mr. Tour Guide, where do you get your medication from here? Like, how do you get your meds here? And he looked at her and he was like, well, we don't get our medication from the we don't get our medication from the grocery store or the pharmacy. When we need our medication, we just go to the land and we get our medication. That's how we get it. So she tried to with a follow-up question like, well, what about when you get sick here? He was like, well, the same thing. When someone gets sick here, we go to the land, we mix up a concoction, grab something out of concoction, mix it together, eat it, drink it. Next thing you know, boom, we got our medicine. That's it. But here's the kicker, though. He said, but no one really gets sick here. He said, but no one really gets sick here. He said, we just let nature take its course. Ha! He said, all the medication that we need is right here in this land. All the medication that you need is right here in this land and in your head. Watch this. Here's the work you're going to have to do, folks. This is the work that most people don't want to do. But if you ever have plans on getting rid of diabetes, if you ever had plans of getting off the medication, if you ever had plans on that, dreams, aspirations, thoughts, ideas, like, yeah, you're going to have to master this new medication. This medication right here. It's called meds. I can't prescribe you this medication. The doctor can't prescribe you this medication. You know, the only person that can just prescribe you this medication is you. Okay? You're the only person. Whew. And we're going to talk about that. Peaceful mind. Cortisol. Super important. How important? It's so important that it's a great equalizer. If you do not manage your stress, if you do not know how to manage your stress, here's what's going to happen. Your blood sugar is going to stay high. You're trying to lose the weight, you're not going to be able to lose the weight. Because here's what happens when you're stressed out. Cortisol. Your body thinks that you're in fight or flight mode. Your body thinks that you're getting ready to fight a bear. You're getting ready to you're in the water and you're swimming and the shark's going to come eat you. You see the shark, you're like, yeah. Or you're in the woods and you walk and you hear a rattle. I grew up in Florida, so if you hear a rattle, you stop and you go back the other way. But what's going to happen is your adrenaline's going to kick in. And when your adrenaline kicks in, cortisol kicks in. And when your cortisol kicks in, guess what happens? Your blood sugar your liver says, let's go in the action. And then it releases stored blood sugar. Why does it release stored blood sugar? It releases it so that you can have energy to fight the bear, to fight the dragon, to fight the lion. So you can have energy to fight the lion. So then that's supposed to go down. After you finish fighting the lion, after you beat up the lion, which I doubt that you beat up the lion, it's supposed to go back down. But when you're chronically stressed, it doesn't go back down. And it just feels like your body feels like you're fighting a lion the whole time. So as a result, what happens to your blood sugar? Your blood sugar is going to stay high because you're constantly stressed out. Cortisol is constantly released. I told you there's a lot of important hormones in the body, cortisol being one of them. And that's how you just keep getting more and more blood sugar because you're stressed. So, wow. So then as a result of that, guess what's going to happen? Now your body's going to release more insulin. Wow. More insulin. More insulin, more insulin, because to compensate for the blood sugar. That's it, folks. That's what happens to compensate for the blood sugar. So peaceful mind. You got to have effective ways of managing your stress. If you do not, who's getting on your nerves? Your mom is getting on your nerve, mother-in-law getting on your nerve, your boss getting on your nerve, your kids, your spouse, who's getting on your nerves? Somebody's getting on your nerves. You got to figure out ways to. You got to figure out ways like, hey, listen, I gotta love you from a distance, folks. I love you, but I gotta love you from a distance. You get to that point in your life where you gotta love people from a distance. You feel what I'm saying? Uh, so find ways. Here's what I recommend. So you can't control what's going on around you. You can't control all the outside factors. You can't control anything. Only three things that you can control are your own thoughts, your own actions, and your own reactions. Your thoughts, your actions, and your reactions. Only three things that you can control, folks. So here's what I recommend. The three M's. Meditation, mindfulness, meet with your therapist. Write those three down. Meditation, mindfulness, meet with your therapist. Write those three things down. That's what you need. Meditation, mindfulness, meet with your therapist. It's called the three M's. Next part, the active body. Register for the masterclass, folks, where I break down this whole thing. I'm going to give you tactics in each area. It's a 45-minute masterclass that you can take, folks. Register for the masterclass. It is linked in my bio. Just register for that class and go sit in and watch all this stuff, right? But that's after this. Don't do it now. Register for the masterclass stuff, where I break down. I'm going to give you tactics in peaceful mind. I'm going to give you tactics in active body. What the heck does it mean to have an active body? Here's what it means to have an active body. 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week of moderate intensive movement. But you might be like, yo, Kelley, I think I'm allergic to activity, man. Is it possible for me to be allergic to activity, Kelley? Is it? I say, no, it's not. There's no such thing as allergic to activity. Here's why. It's because human beings are designed to move. We're designed to be active. We're designed we're not designed to be couch potatoes, folks. Netflix, when human beings were invented, Netflix wasn't around. Netflix wasn't around when humans were invented. When humans came to this, when humans were, when humans came about, there was no Netflix. Okay. What are they doing? They were being active. They were out doing something, being active, being active. Because that's what we're designed to do. Right? Active body, 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, moderate intensive movement. But you're like, Kelley, well, what the hell's moderate intensive movement? Think of it like this. If you're on a treadmill, you can talk, but you can't sing. You can talk, but you can't sing. If you're on a treadmill and you can sing, like you're some famous musician or something, you can sing like that. Woo! No. That means we need to pick up the pace. So that's what it means. Moderate intensive movement, meaning you can talk, but you shouldn't be able to sing. 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week of moderate intensive movement. You do this, folks. I'm telling you. The reason that you want to read, this is why they tell you to go walk whenever you finish eating. As soon as you finish eating, go for a walk. Why do you go for a walk when you finish eating? Well, because muscles are hungry. And when muscles are hungry, they're hungry for what? They're hungry for glucose. They're hungry for blood sugar. The stuff that you're high in, you're high at blood sugar, right? If you have diabetes, that means your blood sugar's high. You want to know what's hungry for that? Your muscles. They're hungry for it. Because like I told you, human beings are designed to move. We weren't designed to watch Netflix all day. They didn't have Netflix when human beings were invented, were created. You know what I'm saying? Active body. Muscles soak up all of that glucose, all the stuff that you're high in, they soak it up. And you don't even have to use insulin at that point because muscles are that hungry. They're hungry. Like, you gotta be hungry. You know what I'm saying? Hungry. Active body, folks. Now, am I saying you got to go out and be a world-class athlete? I'm not saying you got to go out and be a world-class athlete, but what I am telling you is you got to go out and move your body. You can go out and play with your kids, run around, you know what I mean, play frisbee with your kids, like juke your kids in the backyard, like, yo, kids, you know what I mean, play touch rugby with your kids. You can go WWE style on your kids, like from the top rope, boom. Or it could be a walk with your girlfriend around the block. But the point is, just think about this. When it comes to activity, when it comes to being active, just think. I want you to do like, Kelley, how do I get myself? How do I motivate myself to be active? Here's why. Just remember this one. When human beings were created, there were no Netflix. So what did they do? Yeah. When human beings were created, what did they do? Just ask yourself that question. And then I bet you get off of that. I bet you'll turn the Netflix off and you'll get out there and you'll start being active. The C stands for clean eating. Clean eating. What the hell is clean eating, Kelley? Ooh, very, very controversial topic. Controversial topic. I didn't know how controversial it was until I became a nutritionist. And when I became a nutritionist, I'm like, whoa, whoa. Nutrition is right up there with politics and religion as far as highly debated. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many different points of views when it comes to politics, when it comes to religion and nutrition. Oh my, I did not know this until I became a nutritionist. And I was like, wow, very interesting. Because food is so personal to folks that it's not even funny. It's not even funny. It's, man, I was brought up eating this type of food, or I was brought up eating that type of food, or I was brought up eating this in my culture. I was brought up eating this type of food. It's so personal, people. So they will literally bite your head off. People will bite your head off about what they eat. I am not joking. Clean eating, what is it? My version of it. Whole, unprocessed foods as much as you possibly can. Eat clean, whole, unprocessed foods as much as you possibly can. What the hell is that? Real, whole, unprocessed foods. Real food, something that comes from a leaf, something that comes from a branch, something that was grown, something that once had dirt on it. That's real. Or leaner cuts of protein, right? Chicken, lamb, you know what I mean? Whatever it is that you eat. Chicken, turkey, uh, tofu, tempeh, plant-based, right? Tofu, tempeh, eggs. That's not plant-based, but you know what I'm saying? Uh, that is what I mean. Clean eating. Lean protein, not the saturated, not the processed meats like salami, bacon, all the deli meats, like none of that. That's all of the deli meats and all of that. Folks, let's get rid of that. Let's at least agree on that. Out of all the debates about nutrition, let's at least agree on getting rid of the bacon. And for my Louisiana folks, I know we got some folks on here from Louisiana. Woo, in Louisiana. You know what y'all got? You know what y'all are known for in Louisiana. The boudin. Boudin is a processed meat. I know it tastes good. I know you love it. I know. I've been there. I've had it before. And I know it leaves a certain, you want more of it. Leave the boudin alone, folks. That doesn't go in the clean eating category. But we'll come back to that. We'll cover that more here in a little bit. We're just going to scratch the surface on that one, but we're going to dive into it real deep. And then finally, the E stands for effective sleep, folks. That's what it stands for. Effective sleep. Now, I didn't just say sleep, folks. I said effective sleep, right? 6 to 9 hours of effective sleep. Well, you're like, well, what the hell does that mean, Kelley, to have effective sleep? Well, effective sleep is when you wake up and you're feeling refreshed. So you wake up, you feel like $1,000,000. That's what it means to have effective sleep, 6 to 9 hours. Especially if you work on the night shift. If you work on the night shift, you work in that graveyard shift. I know we got some graveyard shift folks on here right now. You work on that graveyard shift. Here's what you got to do. You work on that graveyard shift. You better be the number one priority. Better be that doggone sleep. I tell you that much. The number one priority, if you work on that graveyard shift, is to be able to maximize your sleep. Because here's why. It's because you're already fighting nature. Nature says this. It's called the circadian rhythm. And your circadian rhythm and your sleep and wake cycles, hormones, like we talked about earlier, hormones, sleep and wake cycle, it's all on a timer, a 24-hour timer like this, like every day, like how I'm doing like a robot, like sleep, hormones, wake time, hormones, different hormones, based on the time of day, different hormones is going to do this. We're going to have more, you know what I mean? Hormones, yeah, it's a whole different thing. Like, listen, I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. But what I am telling you is, if you do not maintain your pace, you can take all of the medication that you want. You can take the medication until you're blue in the face. You can take the medication until you're blue, just like this pen. Just like this pen. That's how much medication you can take. How much medication you can take, I don't know, but so much that you're blue in the face. That's how much you can take. And it still won't get rid of diabetes. It still won't get rid of it. It still won't reverse insulin resistance. And 5 years will go by, and the only thing that will change, the only thing that's going to change in 5 years, if that's the route that you choose, just try to wish it away with medication, mask it away with medication. Here's how it's going to look in 5 years. 5 years, you're going to look ahead, and it's still going. You're going to be older. 5 years is going to come. If you got a high A1C, you're going to be like way older than what you should. You might be 60, but you might feel like you're 78. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's going to happen. Just the same old, same old. So you got to master these areas, folks. Effective sleep. The reason that you need effective sleep is because it's when your body reboots itself. It's when your body reboots itself. It's when your brain reboots itself and says, "I'm fresh again." Get rid of all the get rid of all the toxins, get rid of all the waste. All that happens at night, based on my circadian rhythm. Effective sleep, 6 to 9 hours, folks. It's so important that if you don't get effective sleep, the next day you wake up even more insulin resistant. The next day you wake up hungry. You raid the fridge the very next day. The very next day you like, yo, the fridge? I'm raiding it. I'm going to raid the fridge the very next day, folks. So that's the formula. Peaceful mind, active body, clean eating, effective sleep. When the diet is wrong, when the diet and lifestyle is wrong, medication is of no use. But when the diet and lifestyle is correct, medication is of no need. I'm going to say that again. When the diet and lifestyle are wrong, the medication is of no use. But when the diet and lifestyle are correct, the medication is of no need. I hope this made sense to you, folks. Last thing. Here's how they can throw each other off. Here's how you can throw each other off. I get this a lot. It'd be like, Kelley, listen, bro, I'm moving my body. Man, I'm clean eating. I'm moving my body and I'm clean eating, man. But yet, my numbers haven't budged. I haven't lost any weight. Nothing, man. Why hasn't the numbers moved? Well, it's because let's say you're eating good, and all right, now say, all right, let's break this down. You're eating good, you're sleeping good. I mean, you're eating good and you're moving. You're eating. You said you're eating good and you're moving your body. Okay, those two are good. All right, check. And I was like, all right, well, what about your sleep, man? How's your sleep? Well, that's when they get into the that's when the tone changes a little bit from the confidence. From the confidence, man, I've been moving my body. I've been eating good. Okay, let's dig into it then. How you been sleeping? Well, okay. All right. Well, what about your stress? Well, this is going on here. Oh, that's where it is. All right. What about there's a fifth area too. What about alcohol? Well, I have a glass of wine before bed every night. You know what I mean? Have a glass of wine before bed. Every night. Okay. Got it. So all of these folks will cancel each other out. If here's how they can cancel each other out. If you're moving your body and if you're clean eating, but you're not, you're getting poor sleep, here's what's going to happen. It's going to start a domino effect. And this domino effect is going to say, if no effective sleep, okay, I can't reboot myself. I'm stressed out because I can't reboot myself. I'm even more insulin resistant the next day, right? Because of the lack of sleep. I can't reboot. I want to reboot, but I can't because my sleep cycle's been thrown off. So I'm feeling like real groggy. And then that is a stressor. So that causes you to, that's lack of sleep is a stressor. So that causes you to go into fight or flight mode. And what do we say when we go into fight or flight mode? That's when your body says, adrenaline, release the adrenaline, release the cortisol, release the blood sugar, because we're getting ready to fight. We're getting ready to fight a bear. And as a result, you got all this blood sugar, and then you keep getting poor sleep. So you stay stressed out. So you still have high blood sugar. With the high blood sugar, now you got high insulin. Now you're like, man, my numbers aren't getting any better. Why is my number not getting any better? Why am I not losing the weight? Well, number one, you got high insulin. And number two is the more insulin you got, the more insulin resistant you're becoming. And you're not going to lose any weight. So the higher your numbers are going to stay about the same. So that's how they cancel each other out. Isn't that crazy? Isn't it crazy how they can cancel each other out? So, folks, this is what you're going to have to do. This is the work that you're going to have to actually do. People always ask me, well, what's the work, Kelley? This is the work, man. This is the work. Right? Who you are today is your starting point. Who you choose to become is the journey. Is your journey. Who you are today is your starting point. So if you've got diabetes today, that's your starting point. You've got it. Yeah, I got diabetes, that's my starting point. But who I choose to become, who I choose to become, now that's the journey. Okay? And this is the journey, folks. This is an everyday thing you got to do. This is an everyday thing. So that means it's got to be a lifestyle change. That means you can't quick fix it away. That means you can't say, oh, doc, just give me all the medications that I got. Give me the whole medicine cabinet full. My mother had a whole medicine cabinet full of medication. And she still passed away at the age of 67 years old due to complications of metabolic syndrome. She passed away from a heart attack, insulin resistance, all of that stuff is all together called metabolic syndrome. She had a whole bunch of medication that she took, whole medicine cabinet full. Still passed away at the age of 67 years old. I told you, my sister she took a whole bunch of medication, whole bunch of medicine cabinet full. She still passed away at the age of 55 years old due to complications from diabetes. Folks, these are the pillars these are the ones, this is what you're going to have to go back through. Yeah, this is the work that you're going to have to do. This is the work that most people don't want to do. But here's what I need for you to do. I know you don't want to do it, but I need for you to do it. Here's what I need for you to do. I need for you to give you your best. That's what I need for you to do. I need for you to give you your best. You come back and you say, Kelley, I'm gonna give it my best, bro. Put me in the chat. If you say, I'm here's what I said. I need for you to give you your best. If that's gonna be you, put a me in the chat. Let's see how many me's we got. Let's see how many me's we got if you are going to give you your best. Let's see how many we got. While I get some water. Let's see how many me's we got. We got some me's with a whole bunch of exclamations. Catherine says me. See, I told you, Catherine, hang around. I told you we're going to start talking about that lifestyle medicine, didn't I? I told you that's what we're going to talk about. Oh, me. Me. Life is for living. I want a healthy, vibrant life. You're going to do this is what you want, folks. This is what you want. If this is what you want, here's what I want you to remember. Change your habits, and you'll close the gap between who you are and who you want to be. Change your habits. Right here. Change these habits. And you'll close the gap. It's a gap, right? It's a gap from where you are to where you want to be. But here's what you got to do. To close, it's a big gap. You got to change your habits. Because if you didn't, if you wanted this, if you want to say, listen, I want to get off the meds, Kelley, I want to get my life back, I want to do this, I want to do that. But you want it, but you're not willing to put in the work for it. Whoo! We got a long way to go. If you want this, but you're not willing to put in the work for it, man. Me too. Even though I don't have it, and my granny and my mom do. Yep. Stop taking meds and start fasting. Diabetes will be gone. Somebody said the peace and sleep of my struggle. Yeah, they go hand in hand with one another. Typically, they go hand in hand. The P. That's why I drew it back. Right. That's why I specifically designed it this way. Right. Yeah. It's very strategic in how I did this. Right. Especially around the holidays. And you get older to control the sugar. You are so inspirational. Thank you, sweetie. You're so sweet, sweetie. Thank you, sweetie. So that's it, folks. We talked about earlier. There's a whole bunch of things that you can do. But we got to change our habits so we can start filling that gap. Because if we got to fill that gap. What gap is that you're talking about? Well, it's a gap in our identity. There is a gap in our identity. That is the reason why we haven't gotten what we wanted yet. It's because if we were already that person, we'd already have what we wanted, right? If we were already that person, we would already have what we wanted. I'm gonna coin that one. If you were already that person, you would already have what you wanted. Yeah. Yeah. But you're not though. You're not that person yet. Or else you'd already have it because you wanted it. So what's got to happen? Something's got to change. You got to fill that gap. And that gap is in your identity. This is where it all starts, folks. You want to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. You've gotten to the point where change isn't just desired. You've gotten to the point where, the challenge, here's the challenge. Here's linked in my bio, you can register for the masterclass where I break down this whole thing. I break it down. I give you tactics in peaceful mind. I give you tactics in active body. I give you tactics in clean eating. I give you tactics in effective sleep. Give you tactics in each of those areas. That's in the masterclass. Register for the masterclass. It's linked in my bio. Each area broke it down. But then some of the people are going to get to the point where they're like, Kelley, that's great. Like I learned a lot in the masterclass, but I'm ready for action like right now. Like the masterclass, some people like the masterclass great, but I'm ready for action right now. Some people are on different levels when it comes to this. Their level of pain. What do you mean their level of pain, Kelley? Well, the level of pain and how much pain are they in when it comes to diabetes? This is how quickly folks will act, depending on their level of pain. We're like, what you mean, Kelley? That's what you mean. Uh, their level of pain. Well, here's what I mean. I mean that here's the only two times that people will change. Here's the only two times that people will actually do what they got to do to get out of the situation that they're in. The only two times that people will change to get out of the situation that they're in is because the level of pain has gotten too great. This is the only time two times that people will change. Number one is pain. That's the only time people will change. You ever watch Rocky? You watch Rocky. I grew up in the 80s. I told you I'm a big 80s junkie. And in Rocky 3, they asked Mr. T, Clubber Lang was his name in the movie. They asked Clubber, what do you see for this upcoming fight against Rocky Balboa? And here's what his response was. Pain. What do you see in this upcoming bout with Rocky Balboa? You know the part of the movie I'm talking about. If you watch Rocky 3 with Mr. T in it, you know what he says. So, folks, that is the only time that people will change, when there's enough pain, their level of pain. And the second time that people will change, the only other time that people will change is this, is when the fear of future pain, that's it. The fear of future pain, like, yo, future pain, bro, it's gonna be painful. Whoa, you're just thinking about your future and how painful it's gonna be. For instance, if we're talking about diabetes right here, right? Talking about diabetes right now. It's so painful, right? Here's the pain, the future pain that you can see. You know that if you don't get your neuropathy under control, you know that if you don't get that tingling and all that stuff under control, you've seen where that goes. You've seen the pain and devastation that causes. You've seen when people have gotten their toes amputated. You've seen when people have gotten their legs amputated. You've seen that. And you don't want that to happen to you. So what do? You future pace it like, whoa, I don't want that to happen to me. That's future pain, isn't it? That's the only time. That's the only other time you're gonna change. Other than that, human beings. Here's the only time that we take things seriously. We only take things serious when they get serious. We don't take anything serious until it gets serious, folks. And here's what I'm about to tell you. If you don't get serious about this A1C number, bringing it down and doing the work, it's gonna get real serious when you go to that doctor and they say it's time to amputate. It's time that your vision, it's gone. You lost your vision. You lost it. You lost your vision. That's the fear of future pain. So this is the only time that people will change. Isn't that sad? This is the only time that people are gonna get off of their hands. This is the only time people are gonna turn off the Netflix. Only time people are gonna turn off Netflix and put down the Cheetos and wipe their fingers off and get all the orange off of their finger, like get all the orange off of the fingers when they hear about pain and fear of future pain. Other than that, I am not getting outside of my comfort zone. But here's what I want you to do. You cannot be a prisoner to your preferences. Think about that. I want that to settle in. You cannot be a prisoner to your preferences. Because what you mean I can't be a prisoner to my preferences? That means if you want to sit on the couch all day, watch Netflix, Eat ding dong. That's what eat ding dongs. That's what you little Debbie's. That's what you would prefer to do than to get out and do the work. You're nothing but a prisoner in your own mind. You're nothing but a prisoner in your own body. You're just a prisoner in your own body. We're gonna get all things eaten. You're a prisoner in your own body. That's it. So that's it, folks. This is what you got. This is the work. People are like, well, what's the work? The reason I'm spending so much time on this is because this is the work. Don't become a prisoner to your preferences. This is why people pass away at the, people pass away at the age of 25. They pass away at the age of 25. People pass away at the age of 25. Why? It's because they were a prisoner to their preferences. And here they pass away at the age of 25, but we don't bury them until they're 75. Think about that. We passed away at the age of 25, but I ain't gonna get buried until I'm 75. Why? It's because you spent 50 years being a prisoner to your preferences. 50 years being prisoner to your preferences. And as a result, now you've got diabetes. Now you've got now your numbers is worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And that type 2 diabetes numbers is insulin resistance and all that stuff, and everything is bad. It just means that you just haven't gotten enough pain yet, and you haven't had that day yet. The day that turned your life around. The day that you said, bump this, I'm doing the work. That's the day. That's the day. Hopefully today is that day. If today is that day for you, join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Use the live discount code today only. Boxing, because like I said, I'm a big boxing fan. And if you know that there's a big fight this weekend, tomorrow night, use that live discount code. Click the link in my bio. Join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. You'll see it on there. It says 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Join the challenge, folks. There's a lot of people who have joined the challenge. And what are we going to do in the challenge? We're just streamlining it. We're streamlining the process to clean eating for 14 days. At the end of those 14 days, boom, your blood sugar is not going to look the same at all. I promise you. Lots of people who have joined the challenge. So if you've joined the challenge, put what day you on in the challenge, or if you completed the challenge, what day you're on, and let us know how you're doing. We want to know. Inquiring minds would love to know how you're doing on the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Now let me get to some of these questions. Oh yeah. Last thing. Link in my bio, quiz masterclass challenge. Discount code boxing. That's a lot of freebies. It's like Disney World for a diabetic on my page, folks. No excuses, just do it. That's it. That's it. Questions, folks. Who's got questions? Future pain. I drive to work. Work don't time in the moment to get off at 4 p.m. in mid Alabama. Is type 2 diabetes reversible? Absolutely. It's 100% reversible. Here's how you can tell here's how you can tell if your diabetes is 100% reversible. You can go to the doctor, and you can go to the doctor and you can say, "Hey doc, can you give me a C peptide test, doctor? Can you give me a C peptide test, doc?" Yeah, what is a C peptide test? That test is going to tell you if you're producing enough insulin. And if you are producing enough insulin, your type 2 diabetes is 100% reversible. You're just going to have to do the work. Now, how much work? A whole hell of a lot of work. It ain't going to be easy. It's not going to be easy at all. But you're going to have to do it. You're going to have to go back through the fire. That's it. Hope to hear you. I'm ready now before pain. If you're ready now before pain, join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Today only. Use the boxing code. Join the challenge for $69. No excuse. Just do it. That's it. Just do it. Nike. Love it. All right, folks. That's it. No more questions about peaceful mind. Okay, let me see. All right. Let's see. I mean, not peaceful mind. The entire formula about maintaining your pace. Where to get it from? You can get it from a link in my bio. Register for the masterclass. That's where you can find and where I break down this whole thing in greater detail. Approximately how long does it take your ACL, I think you mean A1C, to go from a 5.9 to a 5.7. I'm at a 5.7, 190 pounds. It depends. That's the answer I can give you. Here's approximately how long it takes. It depends on approximately how willing you are to put in the work. How willing are you? How much are you willing to maintain your pace? Are you willing to maintain your pace at 70%? Or you're willing to maintain your pace at 80%? Or you're maintaining your pace at 50%? Right? It all just depends on you. When somebody's maintaining their pace at 50%, you want to know what they call that? We call that in the military, we call that, excuse my French, but they call it half-assing. When you half-ass something, that's at 50%. So the question is, at what percent are you maintaining your pace? That will determine how quickly you can bring down your A1C. That's it. That's it. Is there a meal plan, sir? Yes, there is. In the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, there is, yes. In the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, everything is mapped out for you. All you got to do is show up, do the work, and do it again tomorrow. That's all you got to do. Show up, do the work, do it again tomorrow. That's what's in the but yeah. So the meal plan, the grocery shopping list, the meal plans, the grocery shopping list, everything is all in there. It's exactly what you will be eating literally every day for 2 weeks, for 14 days, everything. For 14 days, what will I be eating on this day? You already know. What will I be eating a week from today? Okay, you already know what you're going to be eating because it's already mapped out for you. All you got to do is just show up and do the work. I built the thing, right? Because did you see my pictures, folks? In the lifestyle medicine, when I adopted lifestyle medicine, let me show you these pictures. Right, here's me. I'm going to show you. Here's me. If you're in, use the discount code today only, labor. It's a flash sale. That's why I got the little flash thing on there. Labor. Look, that was me before lifestyle medicine. Like, here it is. Here's a picture, folks. Both cameras. That was me before lifestyle medicine. Look how insecure I was. That's called insecurity at its highest level. Okay, look at that. Because I had my hand in front of my stomach. Look at that. Look at that. I'm teaching a class, right? I've been teaching for a very long time, folks. This is teaching is not new to me. Okay. I've been United States Navy taught me how to teach 20 years ago. Here we go, folks. Look at me. They caught me with my hand in the cookie jar. Look at that. They caught me with my hand in the look at my face. Like, dang, you caught me. I had my hand in the dang on cookie jar, bro. You caught me. Dang. Look at it. This is all before lifestyle medicine, before and after lifestyle medicine. The one is the grasshopper mentality, the other is the ant mentality. One is living for the now, and the other is plan for the future. Right? One is the grasshopper is living for the now, which is the before, and the ant and the grasshopper. That's why the quiz, when you take this 2-minute quiz, folks, there's a 2-minute quiz that you can take. It's all in my bio. Click the link in my bio, folks. Here it is. Look, all of this. So this is all before lifestyle medicine, folks. Look at that. That's all lifestyle. Also, look at this. Let's look at my waist. Look how many inches came off of my waist, folks. I'm wearing those were my old pants. Look. And this last one, like I told you. Look at that. Before lifestyle medicine, living life like a grasshopper, and then after lifestyle medicine, living life like an ant. You take the quiz, you're going to find out which team you're on. Are you going to be on team ant or are you going to be on team grasshopper? That is what the quiz is. The quiz is absolutely free. The quiz is free. The master class is free. The only thing that I got to charge you for is I got to charge you for the challenge. The reason I got to charge you for the challenge here's why. It's because people are getting amazing results on this challenge. So if I give it to you for free, you're going to take it for granted, right? You're going to take it for granted if I give it to you for free. Click the link in my bio. Register for join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Show up, do the work, and do it again tomorrow. Use the discount code BOXING. You're joining the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Instead of $99, it's normally $99. You're joining it today for $69. You're joining the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Cedric, what's up, boss? How you doing? Oh, thank you kindly. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you for the kind words. All right, let's see. Let's see. We got some questions over here. Let's see. A couple of questions. Sorry. Yes, A1C. Yup. Okay. I'm in. Let's do it. Use that discount code. Can you repeat what you said about C-peptide test showing your diabetes is reversible? You go to the doctor and you say, "Yo, doc, can I get a C-peptide test?" They're not going to give it to you right off the rip. They ain't going to just give it to you straight off the top. That's not a typical test. You got to ask for that specifically. That's like what do you call it? Extra credit. You know what I'm saying? That's like extra credit. What's extra credit? Is they're going to tell you if your number is basically is above a 0.5. If it's above a 0.5, that means that you're producing enough insulin. So therefore, that means the only thing that's holding you back, that's the only thing at that point, this is the only thing that's holding you back is your excuses. That's the only thing that's holding you back at that point. You go and you get that C-peptide test, your number comes back good. The only thing that's, and you say, yeah, the numbers say you're good. The only thing, you're going to be stuck with a decision at that point. A decision that you're trying to, most people have avoided for many, many years. Because like I told you before, we don't take anything serious until it gets serious. And when they say it's time to amputate, that's when it gets serious. When they say erectile dysfunction, that's when it gets serious. When they say PCOS, that's when it gets serious. And now you're no longer it's harder to conceive. And now you have facial hair. That's when it starts to get serious, folks. Like I said, human beings, we got to get into a whole lot of pain before we change. A whole lot of pain. Thank you kindly. Fasting, 72 hours. Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Good morning. Love your show. Thank you kindly. Love your show. Where can I order? I like to get a number. You want to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge? It's linked in my bio. Linked in my bio. You'll see that link there. That's where you join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, right? Click right up here and then click on my picture again. It's going to take you right to my profile here on TikTok, right? Click that link in my bio. Appreciate it. Fasting. What about fasting? Can you fast for 72 hours? Is that what you're asking? Can you fast for 72 hours? Yeah. No. Well, here's the thing. Why are you fasting for 72 hours? Are you metabolically flexible? That's the question. Are you metabolically flexible? Thank you for the TGIFs. Are you metabolically flexible? Can you go 72 hours without eating comfortably? If you're metabolically flexible, you can. What does that mean? Metabolically flexible means that your body, the way your body processes energy, it's flexible. So you can burn fat for energy, or you can burn the food that you just ate for energy. You switch between the two. It's called being metabolically flexible. Yeah. It's called being metabolically flexible. Yeah. If you're metabolically flexible, you can fast for long periods of time. If you're not, you're gonna get very, very, very hangry. Okay. So train your body to fast. Start off with a 12-hour fast. Then start off with a 1 week, and then you do 12 hours. You're good for 12 hours. All right, cool. That's 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. That's 12 hours. And then the next week you go 13 hours, and then the next week you go 14 hours, and then the next week you go 15 hours, and then the next week you go 16 hours. This is how you are training your body to fast. Just don't jump into it right away. Go from I'm a person who has severe insulin resistance, so I'm going to fast for 72 hours. No, you're going to feel that. Okay? You're going to feel it. All right. Let's see here. Do me a favor, folks. Share this live out with anybody that you know struggling with this little thing called type 2 diabetes, PCOS, gestational diabetes, insulin resistance, folks. We got them today, folks. Tell them we got them. Let me get some more water. We got them. Share it out. Bebop the screen, folks. Do me a favor. Bebop that screen, man. Share this live out. Double tap the screen. You know how it goes. And for my action takers, for the people who have take some kind of action, folks. If you're on this live today, man, you're here for a reason. It's for you to the reason that this live came across your page is for you to take some type of action today. Today is the day where you say, you know what? Today is the day that turns my life around. Today is the day where I said enough is the damn enough. I'm not waiting till the pain gets too bad. Yeah, I'm in pain right now. Yeah, I got neuropathy and all that stuff. Yeah, they talking about possibly amputating, but yeah, I'm still not in enough pain yet. I'm still not. So what's that mean? That means that you haven't had that day yet. What day is that? It is the day that turns your life around. You haven't had that day yet. And when you have that day, you'll know. You'll know. That is the day you say, listen, you get so disgusted with your current health situation that you just say enough is the damn enough, and you take the dang on, you take the medicine bottle and you just throw it in the corner. That is called the day that turned your life around. That is called the day where you said, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm changing. Because what you resist will persist. What you resist will persist. So the longer you resist, I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm gonna sum this whole thing up, and we're gonna talk about clean eating right now because we're in hour number 2, 9 o'clock hour. And we're gonna go into clean eating right now. We're gonna dive into that. But what you resist will persist. So the more you resist doing the work, your diabetes will persist. I'm gonna leave it at that. Turning it around. Thank you for this information. You're quite welcome. You will feel so much better and wish you would have done it back when. Yeah, you will. Yeah, you will. Yeah, you will. Yeah, you will. You're gonna look back in 5 years. It's gonna come from now. You're right. We talking about what you resist will persist. Yeah. Will we lose fat in 14 days? There's people on here yesterday. How much did she lose? 15 pounds. 2 people have already reported 15 pounds in 14 days. 15 pounds, 14 days, and their blood sugar is back down, way back down. Now, are you still going to be a diabetic after 2 weeks? Are you still going to be officially diabetic after 2 weeks? Yeah, you will be. You will be. If you've had diabetes for many, many, many years, we're not going to just say, wake up one day and just say, 2 weeks later, boom, the diabetes is gone, folks. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. But here's what it is going to do. Here's what you're going to say after those 14 days. You're going to say, you're going to call me up like most people have been doing. They call me up like a guy called me the other day, ecstatic. Ecstatic. He was like, man, it worked. He called me. He called me on a Sunday the other day. He said, listen, it worked. It worked. He said, I just came from the doctor and it worked. He did the 2-week challenge. He went hard. What worked? His blood sugar was back into the normal range. That's what happened. People losing weight, 15 pounds. People like Sean, he was on a few days ago. He's probably done with the challenge. I think he's done with the challenge now. He said his blood sugar, I don't know what it is at the end of the challenge, but he still had like 3 days to go. But 3 days to go, we had took it from he did. I didn't do the work. I just gave him the blueprint. From a 400 to a 150 in 14 days. I mean, in 12 days, actually. Sorry. He still had 3 days to go. He was on day 12. So day 12, 13, and 14. Still had 3 days to go. 3. Use the live discount code, folks. Today, boxing. That's what it is today, because this weekend, folks, it is a big boxing, a big fight. Typically, the challenge is $99 to join this challenge. But today, you use that live discount code. Guess what you're getting? That's what you're joining the challenge for, $69 to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. And get the same kind of results as everybody else has been getting, because all you got to do is just follow the blueprint. It's a blueprint. I created the same person, that guy, the picture before and after pictures. That was the guy who created it. Now that guy, lost all the weight, then turned nutritionist. So I think I know a thing or two about what it takes to lose the weight. I know a thing or two about what it takes to bring down your A1C naturally. I know a thing or two about what it means to stabilize your blood sugar. And I know a thing or two about what it means to reverse the heart disease. The heart palpitations that I had angina. If you never had angina before, you don't want it. Okay, you don't want angina. Restricted blood flow to the heart. You'll feel it. You're gonna feel it in your heart because the blood flow is restricted. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna feel it. So you don't want any of that, folks. So I built the 14-day challenge based off my own experience and then based off my knowledge as a nutritionist. So that's what I did. So you get it's maximized. The 14 days it's maximized. That's it. Back to your questions, folks. Turn it around. Thank you. It feels so good. Amazing. I'm having a G7 on me, and what I say is what? Uh, I have a G7 on me, and say I was a 6.8. Okay, okay, gotcha. A G7. Okay, got it. I got it. CGM. Okay, I'm reading it now. Now I'm up to 6.9. Do I have to fast? 6.8 to a 6.9. Again, like we talked about fasting, it's not a it's not about just fasting, folks. It's not about just waking up and just fasting. You got to know how. You got to ease your way into fasting. You got to train your body to fast to maximize the effects. Because if you're not metabolically flexible and you try to fast and your body can't shift over the energy like it wants, like it's supposed to, then it's not going to work. How do I join the challenge? You click the link in my bio and you join, and you click the link in my bio, and that's where you register. You register there. Click the link in my bio. Everything. Click right up here, and then click on my picture again. It's effective sleep. But click and then click on, so click right here and then click on my picture again, and then you'll see a link right there. That's the link in my bio. That's the furthest I can take you. I can't take you any further than that. I would show you, but I get slapped on the hand if I show you. They'll kick you out of here. They'll kick everybody out of here if I show you that thing. I need help with the purchase. I know you. I know. Again, I guess I want to show you where it is. But I can't. They're gonna kick us out of here so quick. Well, here's the thing, folks. You know what? Yeah, yeah, my moderator will see if we can point you in the right direction of where it is. That's how you join the challenge. Um, uh, let's see. I don't want the weight loss, but change my A1C. Okay, great. That's a fantastic goal. Is your weight good right now? What's your A1C? Your A1C may not be it may be jacked up because of maybe messed up a little bit higher because of more than just the weight. You know what I'm saying? More than just the weight. There's the stress management, there's the activity, there's the sleeping, there's all that stuff. There's the stress, there's all that stuff. It's the alcohol, there's all that stuff that comes into whether someone is going to be insulin resistant or not. Hello. Hello there. Good morning, sir. About three heart and blood sugar. Can you explain and why? What? Hello there, my sir. Hello there, my good sir. Three heart and blood sugar. I don't know what that means. Can you speak about PCOS? I certainly can. PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. What is it? I'm just gonna give you the quick overview of what it is. PCOS is this. It's basically just all that stuff we talked about, insulin resistance, and how your cells can't use the energy. You become a type 2 diabetic, right? Well, the same thing is going inside of the ovaries of a woman. It's called insulin resistance inside of the ovaries. So it's basically diet. The way you can look at it is basically it's diabetes of the ovaries. And as a result, what happens is human beings, we all have testosterone, like men and women, testosterone. But then a lot of testosterone. But then when it gets down to the reproductive organs, i.e., in women, the ovaries, it's supposed to convert it It's supposed to be a conversion right there where it converts that testosterone over to estrogen so that you can have, you can be a woman. You can have babies and all of that stuff, right? Be productive and all of that stuff. But when you have PCOS, that signal is blocked. That signal where it makes the conversion is like it's stuck. Like so when it can't make that conversion, and you're supposed to get that surge of estrogen, you're supposed to get that surge of estrogen, and that's when your cycle comes. And when you get that surge of estrogen, but now you're not getting cycles. Like, why am I not getting that cycle? Why am I not getting my cycle? Well, you're not getting your cycle is because you're not getting that surge of estrogen. Because the surge of estrogen is blocked by this little thing called too much insulin. That's what it is. And as a result, more testosterone is coming over, crossing the border, basically, more crossing over the border to the estrogen side, like crossing the border to the estrogen side. The testosterone is getting over there, and it's supposed to be estrogen. And as a result, now you've got facial hair because you got more testosterone. Now you can't conceive because now you've got more testosterone going through, and you need estrogen, not testosterone. So that's what PCOS is. It's basically your body, you can't make the conversion from the testosterone to the estrogen. It's having a tough time. The signal is jammed by too much insulin. Yeah. It's the same thing. So it's if it's PCOS, if it's gestational diabetes, if it's insulin resistance, the fix on how to bring down the insulin is going to be the same thing. We're gonna have to make some changes over here. We're gonna have to put in some work over here. Right? We're gonna have to put in some work. That's where it is. How would you advise a night shift worker to use using the blood sugar tracker? A night shift worker. Here's what I would recommend that you do. You be so diligent. A night shift worker. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to understand what's called a circadian rhythm. A circadian rhythm is how your body is supposed to be in line with nature. But if you're working the night shift, you're going against nature. And if you're going against nature, what's going to happen? If you go against nature, now everything is disrupted, especially your sleep, especially how you recover. So you got to be super diligent. If you work the night shift, plan out when you're going to go to sleep and do not let anybody interrupt your sleep. If somebody wants you to do something or this or that or whatever, and you know that's going to interfere with your sleep time because you notice how effective sleep is to your recovery, this is what you got to. You don't have to say no to them. You don't have to say no, like, no, I'm not going to do it. No, I'm not going to do it. No, I'm going to do it. But this is what you can say to them. You can say this instead. Not right now, but if that changes, I'll call you. Not right now, but if that changes, I'll call you. That's what you hit them with. All right, so let's get down to the next one, folks. Let's get down to clean eating because we're going those questions forever. Clean eating, folks. Let's get down to it. Shift gears. Hour number 2. We're a little bit over because we went over on the questions, but let's go. I love answering the questions. Questions are fun. Here we go, because you never know what kind of questions we're gonna get. Here we go, folks. Like I said, you want to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, man. Flash special, boxing, weekend special right here, boxing. There it is, $69. Join the challenge, 14 days. All the meals are designed for you. You won't have to guess work anything. All you got to do is go to the grocery store, get the food, cook the food, eat the food, and then get the results. That's all you got to do, folks. Go to the store, get the food, cook the food, eat the food. Same thing you do every week. And then, but this time, all we're adding to it is we're just getting the results. That's all we're going to add. We're just getting the results. That's it. It's getting the results. All right, here it is, folks. Now, I'm going to ask y'all a question. Let's talk about eating. Everybody's favorite topic, clean eating, right? Clean eating. Clean eating. Folks, do me a favor and put a me in the chat if you hate counting the calories. You hate counting all the calories. When they say, listen, we're gonna have to, we need you to lose the weight. We need you to lose the weight. But to do that, we need you to count all these calories. We need you to count all of these calories. But you're like, listen, man, I can't count all these calories. I don't want to count all these calories. Put a me in the chat if you hate counting the calories when they say you got to lose the weight. Let me put my phone on the charger. You hate it. All right, hold on. Putting my phone on the charger. Uh-oh. Yeah, okay. We got some me's in the chat. We got some me's. Mm-hmm. Yup. We got some me's in the chat. Uh-huh. How many me's? Who hates counting their calories? When they say, listen, we need for you to count these calories, man. That's it. That's the only way. And you say me. Yeah, me. A lot of me's. What if there were another way? What if there were another way to actually lose the weight, folks? What if there were another way to actually keep your blood sugar numbers stable? What if there was actually a way? I hate it so much that I don't even do it. That's what somebody said. They hate it so much that they don't even do it. That's how much they hate it. Yeah, and it's because it's not sustainable. That's why. You might do it for a week or two, but by the time the week or two come by, you be like, man, listen, I don't want to count a single calorie ever again in my life. I don't want to count every single calorie ever again in my life, folks. So right here, look. What if there were a different way? There is a different way. You remember how I showed you those pictures when I was overweight and I was obese and I was all that stuff? You remember I showed you those pictures? Yeah. And when I lost all the weight, here's how I was eating. Here's how I was eating. I didn't eat like this the first 2 weeks. The first 2 weeks are something different. Thank you for the daily heart me. That's what you do on the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. That's a streamline. That's a no holds barred. That's a no holds barred straight blueprint, right? We just follow. It's a system that you follow in the 14 days. But this right here, after the 14 days, then you start living life. Like life gets crazy. Life starts getting real. Life starts lifing, as people say. You want to go right here, 50%. 50% what? Fix your plate like this, man. Instead of counting all the calories and weighing all your food and doing all that nonsense, you eat like this most of the time. It's about what you do most of the time that matters the most. It's what you do most of the time that matters the most. Are you eating clean most of the time? Or are you eating like trash most of the time? You eating clean most of the time, or you eating like crap most of the time? So what you do most matters the most. 50% veggies, non-starchy. I'm going to put it on non-starchy. Non-starchy veggies. Ooh, what are non-starchy veggies? This is right here. Non-starchy veggies, 50%. What kind of non-starchy veggies? What are non-starchy veggies? Sorry. Things like asparagus, broccoli, cauliflower, uh, onions, mushrooms. Even though mushrooms not a plant, I know it's a fungus. Okay, great. Cucumbers, bell peppers. These are non-starchy veggies. You can make your whole plate. You can fill your whole plate, 50% of your plate, with a beautiful stir fry on this side. Look, beautiful stir fry right here. Look, right here. Boom. So, folks, this is how you're gonna eat. Now, there's ways to play around with it, but to make it fit your style, to make it fit your lifestyle. But this is real life, folks. This is real life. Proteins and fats, 25%. What you mean 25% proteins? And what kind of proteins, Kelly? Well, leaner cuts of protein. What do I mean by lean? So whatever it is that you eat, right? But there's people that eat all different types of diets, right? They eat people. Some people eat chicken. Some people eat steak. Some people eat turkey. Some people eat fish. Some people eat eggs. Some people eat tofu, tempeh, plant based, right? And then, uh, yeah, those are the leaner ones that I'm talking about. Now, the ones that I'm not talking about are the processed meats, like we talked about earlier. The bacons, the salamis, the salamis, the boudins for my Louisiana. Thank you for the daily heart me for my Louisiana folks. You know what I'm saying? And then, so stay away from the boudin, folks, and the processed meats. Fats. What kind of fats? Avocados, nuts and seeds, like avocado, nuts, seeds, proteins like chicken, you know what I mean? All chicken, turkey, like I was saying, 25%. All right. Oh, uh, uh, yeah, over there. That's it. Carbs, right? And I'm gonna put fruit, carbs, and fruit. I'm gonna put that in the same category, and I'm gonna put a down arrow right there. Reason I'm going to put a down arrow is because there's a very specific rule when it comes to the carbohydrates. What kind of carbohydrates? Complex carbohydrates. Rice, what kind of rice? Whatever kind of rice you want, because there's whether it's white rice, brown rice, whatever, doesn't matter because it's still going to raise your blood sugar. Still going to raise your blood sugar, so it really doesn't matter. Okay, so farro is another good one. Farro, quinoa, that's another good one. What else is another good one? Yeah, these are some good ones right here. The fruit. What kind of fruit? Preferably the lower glycemic index fruits. But you can have pretty much whatever fruit that you want as long as you follow the rules, folks, when it comes to this section over here. And we're going to find out what that down arrow means. So we got potatoes over here, like sweet potatoes, white potatoes, all kind of potatoes over here. But the reason I say you can have whatever you want is because there's a very specific rule. You can still have the carbohydrates that you love, folks, as long as you just follow very specific rules. Still eat the carbohydrates that you want. You know what I'm saying? Rice. You know what I mean? What else? Quinoa. I'm gonna put potatoes, right? So all that stuff in that category. So this is how you do it, folks. This is how you eat. You eat just like this. I'm gonna go over here on this side. You eat just like this, folks. The reason you want to eat like this is because look, this is going to make your life a whole lot simpler. Whole lot simpler. And you want to know how to make your life even more simpler, folks? When it comes to managing this diabetes, or when you're not even managing it, when it comes to kicking this thing, when it comes to kicking the weight, when it comes to getting rid of diabetes altogether, it's all about using the right strategy. And here's what I'd recommend you get. I'd recommend you get one of these. He-Man. He-Man, I recommend you get one of these, He-Man. H-Man. What's that? This is a clean eating plate. Doesn't it look familiar? Look at this. Oh, let me turn it around. Doesn't it look familiar? Like, look at that. Look at that, folks. Doesn't that look familiar? What does it look like? Oh, it looks like that up there, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. It does look like that, doesn't it? Right here. Go get you one of these. It's a clean eating plate. Now, there's a lot of clean eating plates out there. But the one that's in my showcase, that's the one that's going to give you the bigger portion size. See how this one got that portions on there? Some of the ones, like I saw one yesterday. Someone showed me one last night. Right? Shout out to her for showing me that one last night. And her plate was a little tiny. It was a tiny plate. Right? And it was a clean eating plate, but it was tiny. And I was like, yo, yeah, you might still be hungry after that. But she was okay with it. She was all right with it. But if you want the one with the bigger portions in it, man, Go get that one out of my showcase. That's where you can get it. Out of my TikTok showcase, that's where you can get that one. And this thing will make your life so easy. You can even take this thing with you out to the barbecue. Like we had a holiday. Every time you go to the holiday cookout, whatever, and as long as they got some resemblance of this kind of food right here, you can just bring your plate with you. You can be so dedicated. You can be so serious about your health. You could be that dude would be like, listen, man, or that dude or gal that be like, listen, man, I'm so serious about my health. I'm the person that brought I'm bringing my own plate to the party, man. I'm bringing my own plate. Man, that's dedication. That's the person who's serious about their health. And here's the thing that you can do. Look, your plate, look, beautiful plate. Get these out of my showcase for real. Look. Or you can just go get you one. Get you one. You don't even got to get them out of my showcase on TikTok here. You can just go get you one. That's the point. Just go get you one. But if you want the one with the big portion size, you want to get the one from me. Here we go. Who's got questions on this? Who's got questions on this? I know we just scratching the surface on this. Who's got questions on this? Let's go. This is always the longest topic. It's always the longest topic, right? It's always the longest topic. Nutrition, what to eat. Here we go. Let's get to the questions. Get to the yeah. What's the questions, man? What's the question? Let's see. All right. Here we go. Here we go. All right, that's where we left off. Broccoli, asparagus sounds like my grocery list. There it is. Chicken, fish. Okay, great. Strawberries, cottage cheese. What do you put on? What do you put on rice? What do you put on rice? You can make a beautiful sauce. You can make a beautiful sauce. A beautiful sauce. Don't get those sauces from the stores, folks. That goes in the crap category. We got the clean eating, and then we got the crap category. Don't go to the crap category, folks. But you can make yourself a beautiful sauce, man. I make beautiful sauces all the time. A dressing, as you call it, whatever. Like a little gravy, but you can make it beautiful. Beautiful. I use like different herbs like cilantro, and maybe I'll make me like a cilantro and avocado dressing. And this is like woo. Or I'll make me like a peanut green sauce type of dressing. And I just go crazy with the sauces. I just get in the kitchen and I'd be like, oh yeah, that sounds good. That's a good, and I just understand flavor. So I'll put these flavors together and and when I say beautiful sauces. I make my own. I don't buy the sauce. Don't buy the sauce from the store, folks. That goes in the crap category. What if acid reflux and PCOS are limited to what you can are limited to what you can eat? What if acid reflux and PCOS are limited to what you can eat? What do you mean, or limited to what you can eat? What do you mean? Do you mean acid reflux and PCOS have limited at what you can eat? Well, that's exactly why you need a reset, Keola IBC. That's why I offer the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. That's why it's called a reset, because we're going to reset your blood sugar in 14 days. Starting in 14 days, we're going to put a big dent into that PCOS that you got there. We're going to put a big dent in it. Right? Because all it is insulin resistance of the ovaries. And so what's insulin resistance? Insulin resistance is just you didn't get your lifestyle right. You weren't managing your stress. You weren't managing your activities. You weren't eating clean. You weren't clean eating, as we're talking about right here. You got to be very, very specific when it comes to the clean eating. And then the effective sleep. We talked about hormones, right? We got to make sure our hormones are on time, because your hormones are on a timer. So when that's all thrown off, PCOS could be in your future. Is in your future. Yeah, don't forget it for sure. It's in your future. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, don't forget water. Yeah, water's great. All right. This, folks, where do you join the challenge? The challenge, that link, it's linked in my bio. Like I said, I can't show it to you. I used to show it to you, but I can't show it to you anymore because I'll get slapped on the hand. So It's linked. I can try to point you in the right directions. It's here and here, right? Here, click up here, and then you click there, and then there's a link in my bio. And then that link in my bio is where you join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. You want to, I'm telling you guys, you want to use this code today because the challenge is normally $99 to join that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. $99. You'll see when you go to it, it will say $99. But here's the thing. If you use that discount code today, since boxing, that is today's discount code. Because now you're gonna get the challenge for $69, but it's normally $99. Since it's a big boxing weekend, and I love boxing, I said, you know what? Let's run a little special today. Let's bring that thing down to $69, and let's use the discount code boxing, BOXING. You use that. Click right up here. Click there. My picture again. You're joining the challenge for $69 instead of $99. Now, there's a lot of other goodies on there. There's the quiz. There's the master class. That link in my bio, folks, there's a lot of freebies on there as well. The quiz is free. The master class is free. All of that stuff's free, folks. The only thing that's not free is the challenge because it's serious people getting serious results in the challenge. So I can't give that to you more for free because you're not going to take it seriously. It's a challenge, folks. It's going to get hard. And if I give it to you for free, and when it gets hard, you're going to say, you know what? This was free. So it's best if I go back to my comfort zone. Thank you, Kelley. But appreciate that. And then people are going to ask, well, how was Kelley's challenge? The 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. You're going to be like, it was okay. It was all right. But what the part you're not going to tell them is it got hard because it's a challenge. And then you stop because it was free. That's the part you're going to leave out. So when people pay, they pay attention. When people pay a lot, they pay a lot of attention. It's normally $99. But if you use that discount code, boxing, $69. Blood sugar reset challenge. Yeah, black seed oil is okay. But again, all supplements, and here's the thing about it. All supplements are this. All supplements are, you got to make sure you have the foundation work right. Because like I told you before, when the diet is wrong, diet and lifestyle is wrong, you can take all the supplements and the medication that you want. It really doesn't matter. It can be black seed oil. It could be, everybody say sea moss. People think sea moss is the end all be all. Like, oh, I'll take sea moss and then I can just do whatever I want. I had sea moss, right? Well, folks, taking sea moss is great. It's a great addition, but it's not the work, folks. It's not the work. The work is the behind the scenes work, that the habits that you build every single day is the work. The habits that you build every single day is the work. Yeah. I'm on all I'm on all the platforms, folks. I'm on all the platforms. All of them. What's PCOS? Polycystic ovarian. I just broke down PCOS. Polycystic ovarian syndrome. Diabetes of the ovaries, basically. That's the quick answer. Yes, I am. I'm on all of them. I'm on all of them. Yes. So my doctor put me on gluten-free diet. Helped me with the plate challenges. Same thing. Same thing, right? It's gonna be in this category. If you're on a gluten-free diet, same thing. It's gonna be, most of the gluten is gonna come from here. Here's where it's gonna come from. This area right here, the carbohydrate section. And there's a very specific rules here. I'm going to talk about these specific rules in this section right now. So the reason that I put 25%, 50%, all of that, and then I put the down arrow on this, is you can actually change this board around, folks. I'm going to answer that question. Watch. You can actually change this board around, and you just say one day, you know what? I feel like today I feel like flipping the code around. I flip it around. Today I feel like more protein. Today I feel like more protein. So you can flip it around. You can go 50% protein instead of 50% veggies. You can bring your veggies down to 25%. You can bring your carbs down to 25%. But the number one rule is this. You can change the ratios on the proteins and the fats, but you can't change you can do more veggies. You know, maybe you want way more veggies today, and then you can do keep your proteins and fats the same, and then you can eliminate your carbs. You can even bring this section down. You can eliminate it. You can bring it down to 20%, 15%, 10%, 5%, 0%. You don't even have to have this section. This section is a bonus. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3. This is the order in which you eat your food, folks. The reason I say you can have whatever kind of carbohydrates you want is you got to obey this very specific rule. Go down. There's a couple of rules. You can go down, but you can't go up. You can go down, but you can't go up on the carbohydrates. You can, what else can you do? Here's how you eat your food. 1, 2, 3 in this very specific order. Look. 1, you can do 1, 2, 3. First thing you eat is your veggies, your fiber, right? Eat your veggies. They'll say eat your veggies first, right? And then right here. Number 2, after you eat your veggies, proteins and fats. Why do they say eat your proteins and fats? Because now you're putting clothing, you're putting some food in your stomach already. You're putting food in your stomach. You're putting food in your stomach. Look, boom. You got clothing now. So now you've got some protection against the carbohydrates. Now the carbohydrates are going to be slowed. Your blood sugar, when you're eating the bread and all that stuff, the pasta, whatever you're eating, now your blood sugar is not going to spike like that because you've already got some clothing in front of it to protect it. To protect it. Isn't that, look at that. Folks, that's how simple you can make your life. Instead of doing all this, now this thing can get complicated, right? This is what I teach people how to do. This is how I teach people how to eat after they finish my 14-day challenge, and they become on full. They decide to go further, right? Here's what we do. Here's what we teach them how to eat. We just teach them how to eat like this, based on whatever their situation is. We're going to teach them how to eat. We're going to teach them how to master this board based on the situation, based on their life challenges. All right, so check it out. Beans. What's the great equalizer? Here's the great equalizer. The great equalizer is beans. It is the great equalizer, folks. Well, what do you mean beans are the great equalizer? I mean this. I mean, beans are what's called a resistant starch. I'm just saying, like, well, resistant starch, Kelley? Well, what's a resistant starch, Kelley? Well, here's what a resistant starch is. A resistant starch is something that when you eat it, it resists digestion. When you eat it, it resists. It resists digestion. So it's called a resistant starch because it's resisting being digested, even though it is a starch. Even though beans are a lot of starch, carbohydrates. It's got some protein too, but it's got a lot of carbohydrates and all that stuff, right? Starches. But so resistant starches are very, very specific. They work like this. Whenever they get into your stomach, woo, now they go to your small intestines. So at that point, you're supposed to start digesting stuff. Stuff is supposed to start being digested. But for beans, they just go straight through without being digested. And they go straight through to your large intestines. When they get to your large intestines, woo! They get to your large intestines, that is where the beans get eaten by the fiber. You can't digest the beans, but the fiber from the beans is eaten by the beans are eaten by the gut bacteria. Your gut bacteria is eating the fiber. They love it. They love it. This is why they're always preaching to your gut health. Have great gut health. The reason that what about prebiotics, probiotics, all of that? The reason that you want to have good gut health, great gut health, is because of this. This is one of the contributors, beans and veggies. Veggies have the fiber. That's the only place you're going to get the fiber. I heard someone asking about milk. What about milk? Milk is, I don't recommend milk, but like I told you before, I don't get into it with people about what to have and what not to have and what to drink the milk or not to drink the milk, or the dairy or not to drink the dairy. I don't recommend dairy, but if you do dairy, You can do ghee, you can do butter, you can do Greek yogurt, you can do cottage cheese. None of these things are going to really have a high impact on your blood sugar. So those would be if you do dairy. Again, I'm putting a little caveat. I don't do dairy. I don't recommend dairy. But if you do it, cheese and all that stuff, uh, just yeah, I don't recommend it. But again, those are the ones that you can have. Cheese, I wouldn't recommend. I know people like cheese, cottage cheese. I wouldn't recommend that stuff, but all cheese, I wouldn't recommend. But again, if you do all that, that's totally up to you. It's not really going to raise your blood sugar. So that's my response on milk and dairy and all that stuff. But this is how you do it, folks. Another cardinal rule is this. Never cardinal rule is this. Never eat beans and rice together. Another rule. Never eat beans and rice together. The goat cheese is the same thing. It's still dairy, right? It's not dairy from a cow, but it's still dairy from a goat. You know what I mean? It's still milk from a goat. Almond milk, yeah. Almond milk is, here's the thing about almond milk. Now, you can get some trash almond milk too. Use the Yuka app. YUKA. YUKA. Use that app whenever you go to the grocery store. YUKA. I'll put YUKA. Use that app whenever you go to the grocery store. Beans and rice, yeah. Here's what happens when a homebody, interesting name by the way, homebody. Here's what happens when you eat beans and rice together. I said beans are resistant starch. So when you eat the beans and rice, the beans are great if you do them with all the other things, any other categories. But now, when you do them with the rice, beans and rice together, or beans and like potatoes together, what you did is you just turned that resistant starch into it basically nullifies the resistanceness. Basically, the resistanceness gets nullified at that point because it's mixing with all the other stuff that's not resistant starch. So you want to do it together. You can do the beans with all this other stuff, great. With your non-starchy veggies, great. With your fats and proteins, great. You can do the beans with those, but don't do the beans with the carbs. Don't do the beans. Don't go to Popeyes and get red beans and rice, folks. I said, damn, I'm Jamaican, no rice and peas, kidney beans. I wouldn't recommend it. Not if you care about your blood sugar. If you care about your blood sugar, you can do whatever you want. Let me caveat that. Saying you said no damn, no what's in there, no rice, no whatever. You can do whatever you want. Like I told you before, when somebody asks me, here's the thing. Somebody asks me, how do you how do you how quickly can you lower your A1C was the question, basically. And I said, well, it depends. And it depends on how dedicated or how serious are you about maintaining your pace. Remember maintaining your pace, PACE? Remember that acronym for the masterclass? The masterclass, join the masterclass, attend the masterclass, absolutely free. Linked in my bio. I said, how are you maintaining your pace? At what percent are you maintaining your pace? There's a number. You really got to do it. Go in the mirror. Here's how you can really get rid of diabetes, folks, and bring down your numbers and all that stuff. I want you to go into the mirror and give yourself an accurate assessment. Give yourself an accurate assessment on where you fall. Remember that pace thing we talked about, right? PACE. Where do you fall on that when it comes to maintaining your pace? Peaceful mind, active body, clean eating, effective sleep. Go in the mirror and just stare at yourself. Just like do the Superman pose. Just go in the mirror and just take off all your just stare at your nakedness in the mirror. And you just look at yourself and your nakedness in the mirror and just look at yourself just freely. You're doing the Superman pose. You're just looking at yourself. And you just do an evaluation that says, what habits and what rituals has caused me to be where I am today? Like the body that I have, everything is all due to what choices and habits and decisions and all of that stuff and that I decided to make. So the question is, and then you're staring nakedly at your how do you say it? You're staring nakedly at your inequality, something like that. You know how it goes. And you do that, and you just be honest with yourself. Just go be honest with yourself. Just you and you're all just everybody's just we're free here. And just go be honest with yourself and say, how have I been maintaining my pace? Have I where what percent? Have I been giving this thing 100%? Or have I maybe been giving this thing 80%? Or is it even 50%? And you know, it gets to 50%. That's called half-assing. And have I been half-assing things in my lifestyle? That's how quickly, folks, you can get that number down. It's depending on how high you score yourself. That's why you gotta take the quiz. You take that 2-minute quiz, folks, and you're gonna understand where you rank on that scale. That 2-minute quiz, linked in my bio. Take the quiz, folks. I know my source. How do you feel about no sugar added ice cream? I don't feel good about it. I don't feel good about it. Question is, how do you feel about it? Me in the mirror. Yeah, go stare at yourself in the mirror. Somebody says they know their source. How do you feel about no sugar ice cream? I don't feel good about it. That is not. It's sweet, right? Is it sweet? That no sugar ice cream? Yeah, it's sweet. It's sweet. It is. That no sugar ice cream. But here's the thing. That's called crap. It's sweet, but your body is like, it tastes sweet, but I know that it's not real. Your cells are real. Your cells know the difference. Your cells are like, yo, I know the difference. I know the difference. I know the difference. So as a result, you're going to continue to crave even more sugar. You're going to crave more sugar because now it's not going to raise your blood sugar, but now what's going to happen is you're going to increase your insulin. Your insulin is going to be increased, and your insulin is going to be increased, and you're going to destroy that gut. Remember we talked about the gut, how we build it up with the beans. They're great. They love the fiber and all that stuff. When you start giving it a whole bunch of artificial stuff, like no sugar ice cream, what that's going to do is when you put that artificial stuff inside of your real gut bacteria, like the gut bacteria, the gut flora, it's real. It's real cells. It's real. But artificial stuff, it's not real. It's artificial. So when you put artificial stuff into your real gut, what do you think is ultimately going to happen to your gut if you continue to put artificial stuff into it? Like no sugar ice cream. Nothing good. I can tell you that. Nothing good. Yeah. Key is to maintain the healthy habits. That's it. That's it. That is the key. That is the key, Catherine, is to maintain the healthy habits. It's called the reset loop. I don't know if you know what the reset loop is, but it's a very, very powerful way that everybody should. If you have not been maintaining your pace, you remember pace, peaceful mind, active body, clean eating, effective sleep, the foundations of health, the foundations of defeating type 2 diabetes. The reset loop is this. In life, anything you do in life, if you want to achieve something, if you want something, this is the path that you got to follow. It's a 4-part philosophy, and it's called learn, try, evaluate, refine. Learn, try, evaluate, refine. Let's just say, for instance, let's say, I don't know what it is that you want. I don't know. What is it that you want, right? And why is it that you want it? Write that down. Write that one down. Write that one down, folks. Jot that one down. I got y'all jotting down. So I'm gonna go get me some water right now. I'm gonna go to the bathroom right now. I'm gonna go to the little boy's room right now, and I'll be back. And I want you to put down just write it down or think about it. Just marinate it. When it comes to diabetes, what is it that I want, and why do I want it? Okay, just marinate on that one, and we'll come back and we'll talk about it. What is it that I want, and why do I want it? Do you want to get off the meds? Do you want to get your vision back? Do you want to get rid of the neuropathy? Do you want the swelling to go down? Whatever it is that you want. What is it? Think about it. I'll be back. And I'm going to tell you how to get it. Whatever it is that you want, I'm going to tell you how to get it when I get back. All right, folks, we're back. Let's see. Ooh, everybody stuck around. Ooh. Okay, we're back. Now that we've established, so you had some time to think about it for a second. There it is. You want to feel better and get off your medication, live longer without complications of diabetes, right? That's what you want. And here's how you get it. You got to master the reset loop. It's because, why do I call it the reset loop? It's because it's got to reset every day. Every time you got to reset. It's called learn, it's a try, evaluate, refine. What is it that you got to learn? What is it that you got to evaluate? I mean, what is it that you got to try? So learn first. What is it you got to learn? Then what is it that you got to try? That's number 2. And then what is it that you have to evaluate? That's number 3. You're evaluating the results from what you tried. You're evaluating what you tried, the results that you get from what you tried, you're evaluating it. And then you finally, you get the results. Like, yeah, okay, we got the results. This is what we did here. Now you got to refine it. Okay? Now you got to refine it. Now you got to iterate. Now you got to learn and figure out everything that you learned. Then you got to try. Okay, we didn't get to the goal yet. We didn't get what we wanted yet. Okay, but we're closer to it because we learned, and then we tried something. We tried it, and then we evaluated the results that we got from us trying it, and then we refined it. Okay, and then we still didn't get it yet. Okay, then we had to go learn some more stuff. Then we had to go try some more stuff. Then we had to evaluate the results, and then we had to refine the results until one day, boom, we got it. You see what I'm saying, folks? It's a loop. Learn, try, evaluate, refine. You didn't get your goal. Okay, what'd you learn? All right. Now you got to try something different. All right, great. All right. Then you got to evaluate the results that you got from what you tried. And then you got to refine it. It's just an endless loop. Learn, try, evaluate, refine. Learn, try, evaluate, refine. Learn, try, evaluate, refine. Until one day you refined it so much. Next thing you know, man, you feel better. You get off your medication. You live longer without the complications of diabetes. Wow. All because you just stuck with it. The 14-day challenge does work. The 14-day challenge does work. Yeah. Oh, user 254. I ain't seen you in a while. Yeah, user 254 did. Man, tell us about your experience. User 254 on joining the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Tell us about the experience. Did you feel better? Did you? Somebody said that they want to feel better and get off the medication and live longer without diabetes complications. What was your experience like, user 254? 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. All right. So back to it, folks. Learn, try, evaluate, refine. So here's how a process goes. If you ever want to be successful in anything, Here's what you got to do. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to suck in the beginning. And then you're going to suck again. You're going to try it again. You're going to suck. Like, it sucked, bro. I suck at this. And then you're going to try it again. And you're like, man, I suck at this. So this is the formula for success, folks. So it's suck, 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 cess. That's the formula for success, folks. Suck, suck, success. You're going to suck at something. You're going to suck at it. You're going to suck. And then one day you're going to wake up and you're going to be successful. Why? It's because you learned. You were in that loop. You were in that constant loop of learning. You were in that constant loop of trying. You were in that constant loop of evaluating. You were in that constant loop. You were in that constant loop of refining, folks. You were in a constant loop of learning, trying, evaluating, and refining. Felt better, no sugar cravings, reduced fast-acting insulin. There it is. That's what happened to user 254 in the blood sugar reset challenge. She felt better, no more sugar cravings. Reduced fast-acting insulin. Wow. So that's it. That's what happens when you join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Changed my A1C by eating McDonald's. I know you changed it by eating McDonald's. It probably went up. It probably went sky high. You can definitely change it by eating McDonald's. Not in a good way, though. Not in a good way. Most importantly, my blood sugar levels are under 100. Ooh, that's it. Look at that. User 250. Let's see. Okay, let's see. All right, she's got something else. She's got something else. What else does she say? Most importantly, my blood sugar levels are in the, here it is. Look at this. Not my words, their words. They joined the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Most importantly, their blood sugars levels are now under 100. Now under 100. I'm telling you, folks, we got some folks with some high numbers starting out. People starting their numbers out in the 400s. They hang out with me for 2 weeks. And their life ain't going to be the same. I promise you. If you follow the blueprint, just like user 254 just said, most importantly, the sugars levels are under 100. Her blood sugar is under 100. Most importantly, you want to know what that means? It means that we got to keep the most important things the most important things. That's what we got to do. The most important thing is to keep the most important things the most important things. So the question is, what's important for you? Okay? Is that what you said that you wanted? That you say that you wanted? That's what you want? A lot of people say that they want it, but here's the thing. They want change more than they want to change. They want change more than they want to change. So that means when the work comes, they like, listen, bro, I ain't doing the work because I said that I wanted to change, but at the end of the day, I really don't want to change. I really don't. At the end of the day, because I won't change more than I really want to change. You know that I told you. That's why I told you to go look in that mirror right now. When you get home today, and go look in the mirror and go stare at your nakedness and in the mirror. Superman posing for it's a power pose. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. It's human psychology, right? And you stand in anybody who stands in the Superman pose like this, you stand like you're Superman, like with the cape flowing. You know what I mean? That's called a power pose. And what that does is it floods your mind with like endorphins and all types of stuff, and it makes you feel like empowered and invigorated. It really does. Go do it for like a minute. Just do it. But this time, do it in the mirror with no clothes on. Just go in there naked. And ask yourself this. Ask yourself this in the mirror. What is it that I want? Why do I want it? What is it that I want and why do I want it? And what are the reasons that I'll never give up on getting what I want? Who is it that I have to become to get what it is that I want? Who is it that I have to become? Yeah, you're gonna have to become somebody different. Because if you are already that person, like I said earlier, if you are already that person, you'd already have it. You already have it, but you are not that person yet because you don't have it. You don't have what you want. So that's it, folks. You want to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. This is about clean eating. You want to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. You use that live discount code boxing today, $69 for the challenge. Today only, $69. You join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Instead of $99, you're joining the challenge, just like user 254 did. You're joining the challenge. Well, I think it was she had the regular rate. But today, I told you we're running a flash sale. We getting on. Woo, $69, folks. You don't see that one too often. Use the live discount code. Subscribe. Thank you, Suzette, for subscribing. Man, subscribers. Here's what we do every Saturday. You subscribe every Saturday at noon Central Time. We do every Saturday noon Central Time. We do subscribers only live. Subscribers only live. Yeah. What do we do? Come up to the stage, ask your questions, real life coaching, real life. Instead of just me up here talking, blabbering, and all that stuff, it's real life coaching, folks. Real life coaching. So that's what you can expect on a subscription. People who join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, they come in, tell their experience, or you don't even have to join the challenge to be a subscriber. So you hit right here, hit subscribe, folks. Do I need supplements for your program? No, you don't need supplements for the program. Here's what you need to do. You just need to do the work. You just need to do the work. You show up, you do the work, you do it again tomorrow. Everything's laid out for you. We're gonna start. We gotta get the foundations right first. Let's get the foundation of your health right first. Let's reset all of that stuff. Let's reset all of that stuff. And then once we reset all of that stuff, then we can start talking about supplementation. Start talking about supplementation. But let's get the core pillars right first. All right, folks, that makes sense to y'all. Any questions on clean eating? Any questions on clean eating? Because right now, folks, we're gonna talk about the blood sugar roller coaster. I'm gonna take y'all on a little roller coaster. You know what I mean? Little find out why you're always tired. Hello, Marine lady. How are you? How you doing? No questions on that. All right, we're good. Clean eating going once, clean eating going twice, clean eating, all things clean eating going. All things clean eating. Best decision I've ever made. Yep, joining the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. My doctor wanted to know what I did. I bet. Did you tell your doctor? Did you tell your doctor what you did? Marine lady, I'm just now starting the 14-day reset challenge. Tomorrow I'm starting. I couldn't start like I wanted to. That's the thing. You got to be, when you're ready to go for 2 weeks, when you're ready to go, when you're ready to lock in for 2 weeks, that's when it's go time. When you're ready to lock in. Soon as you go get your shopping list, soon as you got your shopping list, you got your marching orders. Soon as you get your marching orders, like you're starting tomorrow, boom, day one, you go. You go. And then you'll make it to day 14. And then you'll be like user 254 said, best decision I've ever made. The doctor wanted to know what they did. You're gonna get your doctor's gonna be like, you're gonna blow your doctor's mind. Your doctor's gonna be like, yo. And you're gonna be like, all we did, doc, all we did was this clean eating. That's it. We just cleaned up our diet. We just cleaned it up, doc. That's all we did. And people are like, listen, man, you've been taking all these meds for 20 years, blah, 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 and all this. I've been taking meds for 20 years. What's 2 weeks gonna do, Kelley? Well, you know what that tells me if you say that? That just tells me that you don't know the human body. It means to tell me you just don't know the body. That's all it tells me. You don't know the body. And the body says this. Here's what the body says. I want to heal. I want to heal, and I want to heal. This is what I wanted to do. I want to heal. But I can't heal. But the body's like, I can't heal because you're not giving me the right equipment. You're not giving me the right tools. You're not giving me the right stuff. This is why I use her 254. You said they were on fast acting insulin and all types of stuff. The doctor's puzzled, like, yo, how did you get off of the insulin and you were bringing your stuff down and numbers down? Like, that usually doesn't happen. Well, folks, I got many emails. Like, I can show you many emails and people sending me emails and they'll be like, yo, I blew my doctor's mind. The doctor took me off my meds. Yeah. It was like just in 2 weeks because that is how much your body wants to heal. You just give it the right equipment and it will heal itself. It doesn't want to have high blood sugar. I promise you it doesn't. It doesn't want to have your blood sugar at 400. It doesn't. You just haven't given it what it needed. And in these 2 weeks, we're gonna give it what it needs. And then that's why these people are getting amazing results. I mean, I'm tired of lying. It's because you're on the blood sugar roller coaster. Here it is. Here it is. Here's what you're on the blood sugar roller coaster. Here, and let's talk about why you're always tired. Because why? It's because you're on the glucose. You're on what's called the glucose roller coaster, folks. Let me move this. Yeah, the roller coaster. I'm just put roller coaster because I'm gonna run out of room up here. But roller coaster. You're on that roller coaster. What kind of roller coaster are you talking about, Kelley? Oh yeah, here we go. Prior to the challenge, user 254 said my blood sugar numbers were crazy high, 2 to 500 and high on the meter. Plan to keep it. Plan to keep my feet. There you go. That's a great goal to have. Like I told you, go into the mirror, folks. This is what you got to do. You go into that mirror, just like user 254 said. And she said that I wanted to keep my feet. She just went in the mirror and stared Superman pose, like I said, and said, what is it that I want? Okay, I want to keep my feet. Why is it that I want to keep my feet? Because I like walking. And then what are the reasons that I'm never going to stop on getting what I want? What are the reasons that I'm never going to stop getting what I want? And who is it that I need to become to get what I want? Because right now I'm not that person. So that's why I don't have what I want, because I ain't put in the work yet to become the person who I can become to become the person who gets what they want. Because if you want something, folks, and you're not willing to work for it, you want to know what that's called, folks. If you want something and you're not willing to work for it, that's called lust. Okay? That's called lust, folks. Called lust. User 254 wanted to keep her feet. So she decided that it's just 14 days. Let's see what happens. And as a result, the proof's in the pudding. Here we go. Join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge today only. Use that live discount code, $69. You're joining the challenge. Click the link in my bio. Join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Use that discount code, save 20. All right, here we go. Why are you always tired? Why are you always tired? Wonder why you're always tired? Here's why you're always tired. It's because you're on a blood sugar roller coaster. It's you're on a glucose roller coaster. Now, what kind of roller coaster are we talking about, Kelley? Well, that roller coaster, I grew up in Florida. And we got some bad roller coasters in Florida. I mean, to tell you, some bad ones. Woo, Busch Gardens in Tampa. You go to Busch Gardens in Tampa, and you talking about a roller coasters? Man, they got all kind of roller coasters. I remember one when I was growing up as a kid. They had one called the Sheikra. I don't know if they still got it, but that was a bad roller coaster. And then they got the Superman. When you feel like you're flying, Superman. Okay? And you say up, downs, up, downs, up, downs, up, downs. Well, here's what happens, folks. Whenever you're on a blood sugar roller coaster, your blood sugar is doing the same thing. It's on a roller coaster. And then this is why you're always tired. I'm going to put up here, I'm going to put 140, and I'm going to put max. max. I'm gonna put max. And when you put the max up there, look, that's for a reason. Here's what's happening. Here's how your blood sugar is supposed to go, folks. Between 70 and 100. Move that over a little bit. 70 and 100. That's about where you wanted to hang out at. 70 and 100. Pretty much, you know, all right, 70 and 100 right here. You eat something, okay, eat some food, it might go up a little bit, and then it'll come right back down within 2 hours. Within 2 hours or so, let's say if your blood sugar was at 85, okay, within 2 hours or so, and then you eat something, and within 2 hours or so, your blood sugar should be back to around that 85-ish again. Somewhere, it should come back to somewhere around that range again within 2 hours or so. That's called being metabolically flexible. If you're metabolically flexible, that's what's going to happen. But here's the thing. If you're suffering from insulin resistance, folks, if you're suffering from insulin resistance, diabetes, it works a little bit different. Works a little bit different. Here's how it can work. Here's how it works when you're insulin resistant. It's called being on a blood sugar roller coaster. Oh, like I said, man, we got some bad roller coasters in the Universal Studios in Orlando. Woo! The Incredible Hulk, that roller coaster, man. Told you got some bad roller coasters. Let's go through a real day, folks. Let's go through a day of your life. Here's a day of your life. One day of your life could probably look like this. You wake up in the morning, let's say in a perfect world, your blood sugar's at an 85. It's 8 a.m. It's 8 a.m. You wake up in the morning, your blood sugar's at an 85. Perfect day. And then you get ready to go to work. You're heading out to work. It's Friday, like today is Friday. You go into the office, and what do you grab? On the way to the office, you grab a donut, maybe. You grab a kolache. You grab something like that. You grab something real sugary, sugar. You eat some pancakes, mom's pancakes. Remember I told you, was that yesterday I talked about my mom's pancakes? I think that was yesterday I talked about my mom's pancakes. And what my mom's pancakes is, woo, I don't know what she put in them, but they was delicious. But here's the thing. If I ate my mom's pancakes in the morning right before I went to work, with all the syrup and all that stuff, and then I gotta wash it down with an apple juice or orange juice. I gotta wash it down with an apple juice or orange juice, right? This is what's gonna happen to my blood sugar. It's gonna go like, woo, real high. That's called a spike. And as quickly as it comes down, it goes up, as quickly as it's gonna come back down. Folks, that's called a crash. So it goes up real high and then it crashes. This is what happens when you're insulin resistant, folks. This is when you're having insulin resistance and you eat a bunch of junk food. Here's what happens. 10 a.m. So when it's coming down like that, when it's crashing, so spiking, crashing. When it's crashing, here's what's happening, your blood sugar. You're going to start getting hungry. You're going to start to get tired. Hungry and tired, you're going to start to get. So you go to the vending machine and you grab a Snicker bar and your blood sugar goes back up because you had that Snicker bar. And then you're coming home. And you had that Snicker bar, and then after when it goes back up again. Your blood sugar goes up when you eat that Snicker bar, and then it comes back down again. So now we're at noon. Now we're at lunchtime. I worked in corporate America for 13 years, so I know what it's like. I know what it is. I know what it is, folks. 13 years I worked in corporate America, so I know what it is. Check this out. You go out to lunch with your coworkers, and y'all go somewhere really, really junky. Y'all eat some crazy junk food, man. Y'all eat like some, I don't know. Y'all go to I don't know, a buffet. You go to a buffet, you go to Popeyes, you eat that red beans and rice like I talked about. Like, don't eat the red beans and rice together. Remember I said that? Don't eat the red beans and rice together, folks. And you ate that something real junky, and your blood sugar went right back up again. Right? And then as quickly as it goes up, who knows what, and it's going to come back down. Depending on what you ate, it might stay up there for a long time. So then, folks, you at the office. Let's say you're at the office and 3 p.m. comes about. It's 3 p.m. at the office. 3 p.m. at the office. What's that? What's happening? How you feeling 3 p.m. at the office on a Friday? On a Friday, you've been working all week. It's Friday. You just went out to lunch with your coworkers and y'all ate a big lunch and you came back. It's 3 p.m. You're in your cubicle. What's going to happen? You're in your cubicle. What's going to happen? Spaghetti warehouse with garlic bread. Yup. You're in your cubicle. What happens every day, folks, when you're at the office? 3 p.m. You're in your cubicle. 3 p.m. What's happening? Put it in the chat. Throw it in the chat. Yeah. Snack machine. Somebody said the snack machine. Hungry. What happens at 3 p.m.? Every day at the office? Sleeping. There it is. Sleep. LOL. What else? Snack and sleep. Those are the ones I heard. Yep. You're going to get real sleepy. Yep. Napping. Tired. Yep. You're going to crash. That's called that 3 p.m. crash. And what do you do at 3 p.m.? Then you go to the vending machine. I mean, not to the vending machine. I worked in corporate America, so I know for 13 years. You got this one coworker, and what this one coworker is doing is every day you get she has those donuts that she brought in. She brought those donuts and they're in the break room. The ones that she brought in for breakfast, there's still a few left over. And it's the glazy one. The one that has all the glaze on it. Yeah. And you look and you like, damn, you open up that box and you like, damn, I'm hungry, man. I got the munchies, bruh. I'm tired. And then you're looking at these donuts and you like, dang. And then you just get one. And then you put it on a paper towel and then you put it in the microwave for 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ding! And you take it in and out and it's all moist and melty. And you eat that donut. And as a result, your blood sugar is going to go high again. Because you spiked it with that donut. And it's going to come right back crashing down again. But the day is not even over with yet, folks. The day ain't even over with. We 7 p.m. It's Friday night. What we doing on Friday night? What we doing for dinner tonight? What we doing? What we doing Friday night? What do you mean? Everybody eats like this. That's not greed. This is how everybody eats. This is how that's why, well, if you say it's greed, this is why everybody's on a glucose roller coaster. It's 7 p.m. What we having for dinner tonight, folks? It's Friday night. What we having for dinner tonight? What we having? We getting takeout? What we getting? We getting pizza? We getting pizza. We getting, somebody said, like lasagna. We getting spaghetti with the garlic bread. We getting all that on the, what we getting? What are we eating tonight, folks? This is, folks, and we don't understand why we're always tired. I'm telling you right now, you're on a glucose roller coaster. You see how this is panning out? See how this is? They don't realize it. Pizza for sure. That's what somebody having. Pizza for sure, somebody said. Somebody said a salad. What we having for dinner tonight, folks? Garbage smackers. Okay. What we having for dinner tonight? What are garbage smackers? What's for dinner tonight, folks? Exactly. All right. We'll say some people said pizza. We'll use the pizza for example. Somebody said pizza. Let's see. Snackers. Yeah. Okay. Snackers. Somebody said pizza. Let's just use the pizza for example. You get home at 7 p.m. and y'all ordered that pizza, and you get that slice of pizza, and you see it when you're at glucose monitor. You see what happens when you eat that slice of pizza. You like, whoa, that's what happens when I eat that slice of pizza. And then you eat a second one. We like, whoa, that's what happens when I eat 2 slices of pizza. Dang, this is what happens to my blood sugar. If you ever wear a continuous glucose monitor, you will know what happens to your blood sugar when you eat 3 slices of sugar, and then a pizza. And then what do you do after that? And then you got to wash it down, right? Well, no, you got to have the garlic bread too. You got to have the garlic bread, don't you? You had a garlic bread, and then you got to wash it down. You know when they deliver for Pizza Hut and all that stuff, don't they be like, yo, let me get a 2-liter Pepsi, let me get a 2-liter Mountain Dew, right? Right? A 2 liter Mountain Dew. You get that 2 liter Mountain Dew, you wash it all the way down. Your blood sugar goes so high that it's off the chart. This is way up there. Your blood sugar 400 at this point. Your blood sugar's at a 400. It's way up. It's even off the chart. Okay, and then now it's gonna start coming back down again. Now we're at 9:15. All right, what's happening at 9:15? We had pizza for dinner. Okay, here's the day. We had mom's pancake for breakfast. We had a Snicker bar for snack. We went to the buffet at lunch. We had the donuts at 3. We had pizza at 7 with all the garlic bread and the Mountain Dew and all that stuff. All right, day's not over with. What's at 9:15? We're watching Netflix now. It's Netflix time now. It's Friday night. We watching Netflix with our honey. What's next? What's next, folks? What happens at 9:15? Damn near every night. Come on, give it to me. Put it in the chat. Throw it in the chat. What happens at 9:15? Somebody said DoorDash, Uber Eats. What else? What else happens at 9:15? What we doing at 9:15? We would snack. 1 pint of ice cream, Grubhub, snacks. You think it's a game? Somebody's like, people don't eat like this. You think it's a game? You think that people don't eat like this? Somebody saying like people don't eat like this. This is absurd. It's not absurd because this is how people eat every day. You don't want to know what I'm doing at 9:15. Ice cream. I don't think so. Time. What you say? Ice cream. So it's time for another dinner. Yup. This must be a person who doesn't know they have diabetes. Ice cream with fridge. It doesn't matter if you have diabetes or not. Diabetes is irrelevant at this point. Yeah, a person with diabetes eats like this as well. The reason that people with diabetes eat like this is because of the comfort zone. We want to stay inside our comfort zone as much as possible. It's comfortable to eat like this. It's very, very comfortable. It tastes very, very delicious. And the food industry doesn't help either. They design the food in such a way that keeps you coming back for more. They know that people are suffering from diabetes, so they say, okay, we know that people are suffering from diabetes. We know that people suffer from, having too high blood sugars and being addicted to all these carbohydrate rich and junk foods and all of that stuff. Let's tweak the formula. Let's tweak the formula to make it even better. So at 9:15, you get the munchies again. You go get that big bucket of ice cream. And as a result, you get that big bucket of ice cream. I'm taking boxing down for a second. I'm going to put it back up. That's the discount code for today, folks. Boxing. Join the challenge for $69. 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. But here's what happens at 9:15, folks. You go get that big bucket of ice cream. Probably butter pecan or something. And then, now, it's 10 p.m. 10, 11 o'clock at night. Now it's bedtime. It's 10 p.m. What are we doing at 10 p.m., folks? It's bedtime. It's bedtime. What are we doing at 10 p.m., folks? It's bedtime. It's time to go to bed. Now your blood sugar's high at 10 p.m. What are we gonna do at that point? If our blood sugar is at like 375 at bedtime, what are we gonna do at that point? Blood sugar at 375. It's 10 p.m. What do I do? What are we gonna do? We not sleeping. Somebody said they not sleeping. Y'all, they not gonna be able to sleep. I tried to tell my friends, but they just keep pushing it in. They must be a person who doesn't know. Oh, yeah. Let me see. We not sleeping. What happened? Yeah, 10 p.m. Most likely, if your blood sugar is high at 10 p.m., this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna grab some insulin. And then this is what's gonna happen. The day's still not over with yet. What's gonna happen at about 3 a.m.? This is a long day. This is a normal day, folks. It's a whole day. From 8 a.m. Now we're all the way at 3 a.m. 8 a.m. Now we're at 3 a.m. the next morning. What's going to happen? And what usually happens at 3 a.m.? We took insulin at bedtime. 3 a.m. What's going to happen? Low blood sugar. That's it. That's it. This thing is you're gonna wake up like, huh! You're gonna wake up in a frantic panic. Like you're gonna wake up like, ah! And then your spouse is gonna be looking at you mad crazy, like, what are you doing? Why you looking? Why you woke up like that? Why did you wake up like that? You're just gonna be looking up at the ceiling all spaced out, like all bug-eyed, like I don't even know why I looked up at the ceiling like that. I don't know. Come to find out, the more we dug into it, it was your body saying, wake up, 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 wake up. What your body was saying, wake up, wake up, wake up, because your blood sugar has now dropped overnight. It tanked because you took all that insulin at bedtime, and all of a sudden it tanked overnight. And then you wake up in a frantic at 3 a.m. wondering why you're looking all bug-eyed, and your wife is looking and your spouse is looking at you like, why'd you wake up like that? You'd be like, I don't know. Well, that's because your blood sugar tanked. And then you wake up in the morning, and it tanked, and then you wake up in the morning, and then it's high. If you wake up in the morning, then it's high. You're like, well, why is it high in the morning? Damn. I just woke up at 3 a.m. because it was low. Now I'm waking up at 7 a.m. and now it's 200. What the hell? Yeah. Yeah. It's called the dawn phenomenon. It happens. So when you're severely insulin resistant, folks, everybody has high blood sugar in the morning. But if you're severely insulin resistant, that number is going to be even higher than someone who does not have diabetes or someone who is not insulin resistant. So, folks, that is called the dawn phenomenon. It happens there. That's why it's called the phenomenon. It happens to everybody. Just how bad does it get is based on your level of insulin resistance. But here's the thing, folks. That's not the end of the day. Here's how the day ends. And then we wake up the next day and we do it again. We wake up the next day and we do it all over again. We got mom's pancakes, whatever. This time you might be something different. Whatever. You start your whole day or you start a whole, so we're glutton for punishment. We're glutton for fun. We're just like, give me some more. Okay? Give me some more. I haven't had enough yet. I haven't put my body through enough yet. So let's go there. Let's do it again tomorrow. And tomorrow you might give it even, the next day you might get even crazier with it. Don't let you have a poor night of sleep. If you had a poor night of sleep, you think these numbers are crazy? Have a poor night of sleep combined with eating that way and see what happens to your insulin resistance. See if it doesn't increase. I'm telling you right now, it's going to drastically increase. The very next day, you're going to be more insulin resistant of a poor night of sleep. And the very next day, you're going to be on that blood sugar roller coaster. So when it goes up, you got energy. When it comes down, you get tired. You get tired, you get sleepy, you get hungry. It goes up, you get some more energy. Then it comes down, you get tired and sleepy and all that stuff. And then it goes up and you get tired, you get energy. And then it comes down and you get tired and sleepy and sugar cravings and all of that stuff. It's just an endless cycle, folks. So like I told y'all before, it is like the roller coaster. There's some bad roller coasters out there, man. Put one of your favorite theme park is in the chat. What's your favorite theme park that's got all the roller coasters that you love? I told you I grew up in Orlando. We got Disney World, they got roller coasters. We got in Tampa, they got roller coasters. We got roller coasters. We got this Orlando. It's the theme. Central Florida is like theme park capital of the world. Sahara Sam's, that's their favorite theme park. So when you go next time you go to Sahara Sam's, that theme park, next time you go to Six Flags over Georgia, wherever you go, here's what I want you to do. I want you to avoid the roller coasters and I want you to get on the kiddie rides. Go get on the kiddie rides, folks. That's what you want to get on. You want to get on the kiddie rides. Okay? If you want to get off of that roller coaster, folks, we got 30 minutes left. 30 minutes left to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. All right? Let me show you where the challenge is. I don't know. They're probably gonna kick me off of here, but if they kick me off, we're live everywhere, folks. We're live everywhere. So if they kick me off, they start kicking y'all off. You know what it is. We're live everywhere, so don't worry. You can find me everywhere. Don't worry. Click the link in my bio. But here it is. If you want to get off of this roller coaster, folks, here's how you do it. You click right up here, and you click on my picture again. And do me a favor, folks. Also, bebop that screen, man. Bebop that screen as much as you possibly can. Today was a slow day. 13,000 likes. Y'all must really not like me today. Like Kelley, bro, you bring it on Sundays, but today you ain't really bringing it, bro. You know what I mean? So, and I apologize to y'all for not bringing it. I apologize to everybody that's on my live right now, all across the world. I apologize today for not bringing it, cause I ain't been getting no likes today. You know what I mean? But it's all good. It's all good. I'm here for y'all. Don't worry. But here it is. If you want to join the challenge, click right up here. Click here, and like I said, I apologize, folks, for not doing a good job today. Here we go. Click right up here. And here we go. Here's the quiz. Here's the master class. All the freebies. This is all freebies on here. This is where everything is, right? This is where I am. I'm everywhere. Look at it. I'm everywhere. Click right here. Join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Here's where you join the challenge. Everything that you need is right here. It says not. If you click right here, it says $99 to join the challenge, like I told you before. But today, here it is right over here as well. Here it is right over here. Today, I'm gonna go back to it. You click if you're on the other socials. If you're on the other socials, you can just click that link in my bio, and you click right here, and you're gonna come to something that looks like this. Come to something that looks like this. Here's the challenge right here. There it is. Click right here. Like I said, it says $99, but you use that live discount code. I took it down, but it's boxing. It's easy to remember. Boxing, because there's a big fight this weekend. Boxing. This is today's discount code. You're joining the challenge for not $99, but today's special, the flash sale, $69. You're joining the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge to get these kind of results that we're working on. What's up? What else is there? The quiz, the master class, the whole everything is there on that link in my bio right here. Here's the link. Click that link. Boom. There it is. Let's see. World of fun. There we go. Any questions, folks? Any questions on anything about this blood sugar roller coaster? Why you always tired? Why you always hungry? Why you always this and that? Any questions? Like I said, quiet day. It's a quiet day today, folks. You guys are quiet today. Any questions? No questions. Okay. No questions on the blood sugar roller coaster. You got it. Any questions on how to get off the roller coaster? No questions on even how to get off the roller coaster. All right. Let's see. Would it be easier to eat once a day? Would it be easier for you? I mean, if it's easier for you, yeah, it would be easy if it's easy for you. But for some people, eating once a day it wouldn't be easy for them. You know what I mean? They'd be like, yo, I need to eat more. And eating once a day, sometimes you might not get all the nutrients that you need in that one. If you're eating OMAD, as they call it, one meal a day, but it would be easier. Sure. That means you got less preparation you got to do. Yeah, sure. How to get off? How do you get off? Just got here. How? How you get off is like this. How you get off the roller coaster is you start your day off with a savory breakfast. See, somebody's asking the question right now. Is oatmeal good? Is oatmeal good is the question for type 2 diabetes. And the answer is it depends. It depends on when and where you eat it. Here's how you get off. If you start your day off with a sugary breakfast like oatmeal, like I said earlier, like mom's pancakes, you're immediately gonna put yourself on that glucose roller coaster. And you're just gonna start the day like that because you started off with a sweet breakfast. The idea is to start off with a savory breakfast. Start off with a savory breakfast. That's how you do it. You start off with a savory breakfast. What's a savory breakfast? If you missed the clean eating part, people are just joining us, we talked about clean eating earlier. The savory breakfast is, remember, sections 1 and 2. Remember, you're going to get yourself one of these plates. Get yourself one of these plates. All right, remember that? Sections 1 and 2. Eat sections 1 and 2. Savory breakfast is protein, a fat, and a veggie. Protein, fat, veggie. Basically, eat what you would eat for dinner. Eat it for breakfast. Flipping the game on you. What you would eat for dinner, eat it. Now eat it for breakfast. Right? That's called the savory breakfast. So something could be like chicken and broccoli and an avocado. It could be a tofu. It could be a tofu instead of using a avocado toast. Instead of using the toast, it could be tofu. You can replace the bread with tofu. Ooh, now you got a tofu basically toast. You can start your day off like that with a side salad, right? With some asparagus, with some cauliflower, some of the non-starchy veggies like we talked about, a healthy fat, avocados, nuts, and seeds. Start your day off like that. That's called a savory breakfast. That is the very first step of getting off of the roller coaster. Very first step is start your day with a savory breakfast every single day. Not a sweet one. Because it's going to be so sweet, you're going to be like, this is a beautifully sweet breakfast. But I'm telling you, you don't want to have a sweet breakfast because it's going to put you on a roller coaster. Get off the roller coaster. That's the very first step. Do we have to eat 3 times per day? You don't have to do anything. It's like somebody was asking earlier. Do you have to eat once a day best or it was once a day? It depends. It depends on you. There's no such thing as breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's some made up stuff. Your body doesn't actually work on breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You want to know how your body really works? Here's how your body really works. Your body really works. Your body works like this. It says, give me the nutrients that I need. That's how your body works. It's as simple as that. It says, give me the nutrients that I need. Now, is that in 2 meals a day, 3 meals? I don't recommend 1 meal a day, but if you do 1 meal a day, okay, if it works for you, fantastic. Somebody's like, is 1 meal a day easier? Yeah, it's easier because you're just eating once a day. You ain't got to worry about it the rest of the day. Sure. Is it 2 meals a day? Is your body requesting that you have 2 meals a day? Based on your energy levels, do you need 2 meals a day or do you need 3 meals a day? So the question is, here's a little scenario I like to put on people. If you've eaten 2 meals a day, if you've eaten 2 meals that day, right? And then all of a sudden you get home and it's dinner time, it's 7 p.m. dinner time we talked about, and you get home and you say, you know what? I'm not really hungry. But the question is, do you still eat? The question is, do you still eat if you're not hungry, even though you've had only 2 meals that day? 2. Do you still eat? That's the question. Throw it in the chat. Yes or no? Do you still eat? That's what I want to know the answer to. Do you still eat, people, if you're not even hungry, but the clock strikes 7 p.m.? Should you eat? Savory breakfast, yeah. Savory. I just broke it down. I just broke the savory breakfast down. No. Why? The question is why then? Why don't you eat? If it's 7 p. Don't they say you're supposed to eat 3 meals a day, 3 square meals? That's what they say, right? That's what breakfast, lunch, dinner. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, 3 square meals a day, right? Why are you not eating that if it's 7 p.m. but you ain't hungry though? Why are you not even gonna eat? Why? That doesn't make any sense. In today's society, it's too late. Is it too late? Your body is not craving anything. Your body is not, that's it right there, Terry. Your body is not craving. Your body's like, I've reached my energy levels for the day. I've reached them for the day, so I don't need any more. That's the point of eating, folks. We just don't eat this because, friends and family is great. Let's break bread together. That's great. Break bread with your friends and family. That's great. Let's break bread together. That's great. But that's not really the real reason of eating. Breaking bread is not really with your friends and family. It's great to have the camaraderie and eating. That's part of a healthy lifestyle, but that's not the point of eating. The point of eating is this: it is to fuel your body with the energy that it needs to keep going, to sustain itself. That's the point of eating. That's if you break it all the way down, it's not to eat with friends and families. If you break it all the way down to bare bones, the point of eating is this: is to give your body the energy that it needs when it requests it. And if it's 7 p.m. and you're not hungry, you better not be eating. Don't do it. Don't eat. That's called extra storage. That's called storing body fat for no damn reason. That's called giving your body fuel and excess blood sugar and all that stuff for no damn reason. And it's not even asking for it. Think about it, folks. So again, you can eat however many meals a day that you want. It's totally up to you. I just recommend well, eat as little as possible. Eat as much. Eat when your body's telling you to eat. I'll say that. That's how many meals you eat per day. When your body's telling you to eat, listening to your body. It's called intuitive eating. That's how many times a day you eat. Hope that's clear for you, folks. That makes sense to you, folks. I hope it's clear for you. Of when it's how many meals a day you're supposed to eat. Mm-hmm. Let's see. All right. Any other questions? Any other questions? No other questions. No questions. All right. That's it, folks. That's it for the blood sugar roller coaster. That's how you get off of it. You eat a savory breakfast. I think somebody was asking savory breakfast. A savory breakfast is not nothing sweet, right? A healthy fat, protein, and a side salad, right? And a side something a veggie on the side. That is a savory breakfast. That's a savory breakfast. How to reverse insulin resistance in the morning? You just can't reverse insulin resistance in the morning. You're talking about the dawn phenomenon. You got to reverse insulin resistance overall, not just in the morning. Not just we talking about 24/7. And in my community, we say 25/8. You know what I mean? That's how. Not just the morning time. You're talking about the dawn phenomenon. I think the question you're asking is why is my blood sugar high in the morning? I think that's the question you're asking. It's high in the morning because of the dawn phenomenon. The dawn phenomenon says based on the time of day, certain hormones are going to be very, very active, and some are not going to be active based on the time of day. And when you're waking up in the morning, getting ready to wake up in the morning, that's why they call it the dawn phenomenon. The dawn phenomenon. Here's what's going to happen. Your blood sugar, your body says this person needs to have energy because the sun is coming out. The day is daytime, so they need to have the daytime energy. So as a result, I'm going to give them more energy. I'm going to release adrenaline, and that in turn is going to release cortisol, right? And it's just a domino effect. And the domino effect that causes your blood sugar to rise because of the cortisol. All of that stuff telling your blood sugar, hey, get this person up, give him more energy. So that's why the blood sugar, soar blood sugar needs to be released every single day in the morning time. That's why it's called the dawn phenomenon. That's why you wake up in the morning with higher blood sugar. Right? Called the dawn phenomenon. So you got to fix the overall thing. You got to fix the overall insulin resistance. You just can't target the morning. Everybody has high blood sugar in the morning. It just depends on how high is it. How high is it? What should the blood sugar be in the morning? Between 70 and 100. Between 70 and 100. That's where it should be. It's definitely not meats. It's the garbage carbs, wheats, breads, cereals, sugars. Yeah. Processed meats you can throw in there as well. Processed meats and dairy you can throw in there as well, right? That's why I don't recommend dairy. I know a lot of people are going to fight me about dairy. So if you want, that's what I tell people. I don't recommend dairy, but if you want to eat your dairy, you do it at your own risk. That's what I say. Just eat dairy at your own risk. That's all I'll say. All right. You watch a documentary called, oh, it's not a documentary. It's a lecture by a man named Walter Veith. You watch this documentary called Utterly Amazing, and you understand why I don't recommend that people have dairy. When you watch that 80-minute, the guy's a zoologist, and you understand the zoo and the animals from the zoo and what milk does and dairy and all that stuff. You'll understand it at that point. And then at that point, you're going to have a decision. Should I continue to eat dairy or not eat dairy? So if you love dairy, do not watch that lecture. Yeah. You taught me processed ground meat, never knew it. Yup. Processed. Almond milk. You do almond milk, great, but use the Yuka app. YUKA. because there's a lot of garbage almond milks out there. There's a lot of garbage ones out there. Should your sugar be under 100 in the morning? Ideally, yes. Between 70 and 100. Ideally, yes. That is where you want it every morning. You want it right there. You have a perfect day. You wake up and my blood sugar is at 85. That's a perfect. That's right in the middle. That's between 70 and 100. 85. Boom. Salad, protein, avocado, savory breakfast. Yep, that's it. That's it. That's it, Bronze. That's it. That's it. What's the name of it? Utterly amazing. The Utterly Amazing, Udderly. Utterly Amazing is the name of that lecture. Utterly Amazing. And when you finish watching that 80-minute lecture, you're gonna find out what the hell dairy is. You're gonna be like, yeah. He's gonna break it down to you in a way that, yeah, you'll understand it. You'll understand it. How much protein though, right? You missed the clean eating part, right? You missed the clean eating section. We're gonna come back tomorrow. We'll talk more about how much protein, right? We'll talk about that. But yeah, we did that. We spent like a whole hour on clean eating, on how much protein. It's also portion size, carbs, overload, plate, but do eat. All right. I'm a new diabetic. If I'm low carb, is more protein okay? Sure. Yeah, the more protein you can do it. Start your day off. Here's the thing. Here's just how you want to start your day off. You want to start your day off with mostly protein in the morning. You want to start your day off with a savory breakfast. So stack up on prioritize protein in the morning. Prioritize it in the morning. And then what that's going to do is that's going to carry you over. That's going to carry you over for the rest of the day if you prioritize protein. Because protein is satiating. It's going to satiate you. Satiating means it should keep you feeling fuller for longer, right? Satiating. What platforms? What platform is what? Oh, what platform? Utterly Amazing. Just throw it in. It's a whole bunch of, the platform where you watch a whole bunch of stuff. Just throw it in that one. There's a whole bunch of long form videos on that one. Go to that platform. So any type of meats are okay. Chicken, pork, steaks. You want to stay away from the processed meats. You want to stay away from the sausages and the bolognas and the hot dogs and the bacon. I know you love your bacons. Stay away from the bacons. That's called the section that's called the processed meats section. Stay far away from that section. The pepperonis and all that stuff and that pizza that people are gonna eat tonight. You want to stay away from the pepperoni section. But I know people ain't gonna listen. I know people are like, Kelley, bruh, the pain hadn't got bad enough yet for me to change anything. So I'm gonna just keep on doing what I'm doing. I'm gonna keep on doing what I'm doing. I don't care anything about my A1C. I care nothing about my. You're not gonna say that you care. You're not gonna say that. You're not gonna say that. Let me take that back. You're not gonna say that you don't care about your A1C and your blood sugar. You're not gonna say that whenever you eat that pizza tonight. You're gonna say that. But what you do speaks so loudly that people can't hear what you are saying. What you do speaks so loudly that people cannot hear what you are saying. Not just that, sugar is more addictive than cocaine, 40 grams of pro. Yeah, sugar is very addictive. It's very addictive. Very. And we don't actually need sugar. We don't need it, just tastes good. But you don't need sugar. You don't need fructose. They're nice to have. Fructose, you don't need fructose. They're nice to have. You don't need it. Fructose is the sweet stuff. You don't need it. You're absolutely right. Today I had scrambled eggs. Another one. Today I had scrambled eggs, slice of tomato, bacon, coffee. Is that okay? Today I had scrambled eggs, slice of tomato, bacon, slice of tomato, bacon, and a cup of bacon. Like I told you before, the processed meats, the bacon included, the boudin included, the sausages and bratwursts and all of that stuff. I wouldn't recommend it because those are group 1 carcinogens. Bacon is what's called a group 1 carcinogen. And you want to steer as far away as you possibly can from group 1 carcinogens. Trust me. You're absolutely right. It's only until your body crashes. I'm on. I'm one of them. Now it's time. Now it's time. Been time. Yeah. Yeah. Then you're saying it's been time. What are you saying? It's been time for you to take some action. It's been time for you to take some action. Remember that reset loop that I talked about earlier? Learn, try, evaluate, refine. That's the action. You're right. This is the work that people ain't gonna do, folks. This is the work. This is the work. Let's start putting some formulas up here on the board. Let's start putting some formulas up here because we're getting ready to get up out of here. You want to take advantage of the if you want to take advantage of the challenge, folks, for $69 today, here's where you join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. And then we're going to get to the last thing up here. Click right up here and then click my picture again. And then you're going to come to my page. And my page is where my bio is. And my bio is here. You click my bio, the link in my bio, and it's going to take you to all the goodies, folks. Like I said, this is Disney World for a diabetic, folks. If you're a diabetic, folks, this is like Disney World for you. So click right here, click this link right here. That's the quiz. And then there's the masterclass, absolutely free. The masterclass is free, where I break down the lifestyle medicine formula right here. Here it is, folks. I don't know, it would depend on what platform you're on. You can get to it if you're on all the other platforms. We're streaming on all the other platforms. Click the link in my bio, click the link in my description. And you're going to come to a link that looks like that. Here's what that link's going to look like. Click right here. You're joining the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Here's where you join the challenge, folks. But a lot of people are like, well, where do I join the challenge? How do I join the challenge? Here's how you join the challenge right here. 14 days. It says $99 to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. What are people getting? People have been coming in and giving their results from the challenge, right? This is not stuff that I'm making up. These are real people. You can see they've come in today. Real people have given real results on the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. It's $99 normally to join the challenge. But today, when you use that discount code, you use the discount code today. What is it? Oh, boxing. 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 Use that discount code today. You're joining the challenge. Instead of $99, you're joining the challenge for $79. You're joining the challenge. Here we go. That's it, folks. These are for people who are, the challenge is not for everybody. A lot of people have accepted the challenge. A lot of people have, but the challenge is not for everybody. I just got to be honest with you. It's not for people who are not serious. If you're not serious, just don't accept the challenge. Be like, even though Kelley's running a flash special today on the challenge, like, bro, don't get the challenge. Don't do it. Because I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready to take the action that is required to actually get rid of type 2 diabetes. Like I told you before, you got to go stand in the mirror and you got to ask yourself, what is it that I want? What is it that I say I've been wanting? I say I've been wanting this for years. I've been wanting to get off the meds for years. I say I've been wanting to get my life back for years. This is what I say I've been wanting, but I still don't do anything about it. I still haven't taken not one step, or maybe like a baby step. I took not even maybe like a few years ago. I attempted like a half a step maybe. But this is it, folks. This is the hardest part. Getting over that decision to say, all right, today's that day. Because a lot of people haven't had that day. And I don't care, man. Listen, I don't care how long you've had this condition. I don't care how long you've had high blood sugar. You could have had it for 5 years. You could have had diabetes for 10 years. You could have had it for however many years. If you're trying to join, you want to join today, I'm telling you, because it ain't $69 very often. It ain't $69 very often. See if my moderator can help Rose Marie King to help join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. You click right up here, and then you click on my picture again, and then there's going to be a link. You click on that link, and then that is where you start. If you're for everybody else on the other channels, there's a link in my description, link in my bio. Click that link. It says click that link, and then you're there on my page. Yeah, discount code today is boxing. BOXING. Boxing, folks. But yeah, change. What I was saying earlier, somebody said, oh my God, not bacon. Change. Real hard, man. Real hard. I know it. I've been there. I showed y'all my pictures. I showed y'all my before and after pictures. You need to, if you do, I need to start today. No, you start, you get it today. You get it today. You join today because you take advantage of the special. But here's the thing. You can start whenever you're ready. Whenever you finish, like somebody was saying earlier, they said, like, listen, I'm starting mine tomorrow. I had a little setback. So they said they had a little setback. So they're going to start their challenge tomorrow. They've already bought the challenge. They've already got the challenge. They've already invested in the challenge a couple of weeks back. But they're finally starting today, tomorrow, because now they're ready. But here's the thing. When you're ready, you go to the grocery store. You got your list. You got your list in hand. You go to the grocery store. Everything's all pre-built for you. You go to the grocery store. You shop. You bring it home. You cook it, and you get the results. That's it. You get the results, and then that's it, right? What happens when you join? When you join, you're going to get an email. You're going to get an email with your login information. You're going to get 2 emails with your login information. When you get the login information, you log in, you create your password, and you log in, and then you're in the challenge at that point. You're going to get your marching orders from that point. Like I said, it's a blueprint. All you got to do is follow the blueprint. All you got to do is show up, do the work, do it again tomorrow. Show up. That's the ultimate shortcut, folks. People are like, well, Kelley, how do I get rid of diabetes? How do I lower my A1C, Kelley? How do I bring my A1C? How do I bring my numbers down? And I just tell them, I just give them a simple formula, You know, I love frameworks. You know, I love simple stuff, right? I just said it's the ultimate shortcut. This is how you do it. It's a shortcut. It's super, super easy. Here's how you do it. Here's how you bring your numbers down naturally. You show up, you do the work, and you do it again tomorrow. It's called the ultimate shortcut, folks. I've given y'all a lot of frameworks today because we've been on here for a good while, 3.5 hours a day. But the framework I give y'all, folks, is you show up, you do the work, you do it again tomorrow. And as a result of doing that, the work, your diabetes will cease to exist. Type 2 diabetes will cease to exist in your body. You show up, do the work, and do it again tomorrow. Just keep that attitude. Show up, do the work, and do it again tomorrow. Show up, do the work, do it again tomorrow. Called the ultimate shortcut. Why would my A1C be high after doctors and my numbers are low at home? Because they're probably using, I don't know about those home bought stores, those home bought A1C tests. I don't know about those. I'd go to the doctor and get the official test, right? The official test. But all right, last question. What is my blood sugar level? What is my blood sugar level at 90 but feel sleepy sometimes? What does that mean? How is it? Is it always at 90 or is it going up and then coming down? Is it sometimes at 90? It just depends. Are you on a roller coaster? So the answer to that question is, Aaron, it depends. Okay? Are your numbers really stable or you're putting yourself on a roller coaster and when you check it, you just happen to be at a 90? That's we don't know. We got to see. Because usually when you're getting tired like that, usually when you're correction. But that's it, folks. We get ready to get up out of here. And I like to leave y'all with this. Reasons. Reasons come first. You just got to have enough reasons. Reasons come first. Answers come second. Remember, write that one down too. Reasons come first. Answers come second. You've got enough reasons as to why you want to do something, as to why is what it is that you want. You want to regain your health and from diabetes, be free of diabetes, the medication, and live a great life and all that stuff, and not worry about have to worry about future pain and complications of diabetes. What is it that you want? Why is it that you want it? And what are the reasons that I'll never give up on getting what I want? Just write that down. What are the reasons I'll never give up on getting what I want? And then the final question is, who is it that I need to become to get what I want? Who is it that I need to become? Because right now, I'm not it. I'm not that person right now. Because if I was that person, I'd already have it. I'd already be off of the meds already. I would be. Like I told you before, wanting something and not being willing to put in the work is called lust. Do not lust over diabetes, over getting off of your meds. Don't lust over it. Don't want it and not be willing to put in the work. That's wrong. Don't do that. Okay? It's morally wrong. Don't do that. Here's what you could do. Here's what you should do. Here's what I could do. As you say, here's when you change it up and say, here's what I could do. I could change my lifestyle. You should say, I should change my lifestyle. And I will change my lifestyle. It's called the recipe for prosperity. Could, should, will. I could change my lifestyle to get what I want. I should change my lifestyle to get what I want. And I will change my lifestyle to get what I want. That's it, folks. That's it. That's it. That's it. That is how you get what you want. And until then, folks, until tomorrow, we'll be back tomorrow, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time to 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. That's when we're coming back. We're going to be back across these airwaves tomorrow. But in the meantime, here's what I want you to remember. I want you to remember this. Oh, the last thing is the 14-day challenge. Join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge today. Use the discount code BOXING. That's the discount code today. Join the challenge for $69, linked in my bio. But last thing I want y'all to remember, when we're born, we look like our parents. But when we die, we look like our choices.